my god.
Yeah.
It's together.
Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh. All righty. You blew it. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Adventures in Loxos, or episode of Adventures in Loxos. Another session. I don't know what we call these things. Welcome to another gathering of people who play D&D. I'm Lord Pog. This is Lord Pog Gaming. And these are them old school gamers. And we're about to get started. Let's just jump right into the intros, shall we? Shall we, everybody? Y'all ready for this? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. So starting at the top, we have AGTX, the Dragons. And he will be playing Quill, the human slayer / dragon shaman / totem of Fenrir. Quill has the spirit of a dead dragon god. They are one. They have become one. Plus, he's like the prophesied one of an entire culture. How's that make you feel, Quill? Knowing you are the chosen one somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight.
Somewhere, nowhere, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about? I have a goddess that's gonna bob on my knob. Fuck out of here.
I don't know why you would have to be like that. I don't know why.
If you're gonna be extra, I'm gonna be extra, and I only know one way.
Yeah.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
For the record, we won't go into detail in session about any of what he just said. None of that will be described. But anyways, just use your imaginations, I guess. But yeah. Yep, and that is Quill, everybody. Next we have Icy, what is it? Icy Hot _ 2305. And he will be playing Zoltan Heisenberg, the half drow, half human deep druid. That's not your mama's druid. He doesn't get his powers from forests and fields and blue skies and rainbows and sunny beams from heaven. He gets them from the caves, the deep places, the underground, the cockles, if you will. That's where he gets his abilities from.
And he complained about mine.
And he
Wait, why you gotta make it sound weird?
For this reason. For this reason right now.
He says the word cockles, and I'm weird for saying Otis is hard.
Yeah.
I'm weird saying a goddess is gonna bob on my knob, but he's constantly saying cockles.
I never called you weird for that. anyways, with that said, Zoltan's currently going through a lot right now, actually, for having been with the group for such a short time. He's solely responsible for killing the elemental functions of the world. What do you got to say for yourself there, Zoltan? Nothing. Yeah, I was like, he's pleading the fifth. Guilty people plead the fifth.
That's on me. But then again, how are y'all gonna let me persuade y'all into doing it?
He says, my bad, y'all. That's on me.
Persuade? This motherfucker acts like we had some conversation. Like you did some dumb shit and we had to fucking fix it, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Also, don't roll me in with your bullshit.
Don't draw me into it. Yeah, we've all caused world-shattering catastrophes at least once in our life. You know, it's a rite of passage.
I said, notice the hell.
Yeah. This motherfucker over here acting like we had a congressional meeting about this fucking idea or some shit. It's like, nah, you just did some shit, and we were like, ah, fuck.
Oh, yeah. You know,
but on that, we'll make sure to let you die next time.
All right.
Got you.
Can you feel? So that's Zoltan, everybody. Coming up next, we have Kassid 69.
Ayo.
Ayo. Kassid will be playing the Mycetid Pion Mender, Agaricus. A Mycetid is a little 4-foot mushroom folk, humanoid mushroom folk, and they are completely homebrewed for the most part. Mycetids you can find in I know you can find them in the 3.5 monster manual anyways. And they but we homebrewed everything else about Agaricus. Their class, Pion Mender, is just a heal and buff machine. And they are actually a subrace of Mycetid called the Androgynine, which means they have no set gender. They are neither male nor female. They are, in true plant fashion, asexual. And just a weirdly weird looking little guy. The Agaricus is solely responsible for the predicament they're in right now, being stuck in the underworld.
No, that's Sultan's fault.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Well, you know.
I was gonna say, what do you got to say for yourself? But you beat me to it. You were like on that. You were like, no, objection, Your Honor. So that is.
Yeah, robbed.
Yeah, I got robbed. Like everybody forgot that I got robbed.
Hey, listen, if you put the bling-a-ling out, it's your fault.
The bling-a-ling? If you put
That's
out
my
the
chain.
bling-a-ling? The
Bling-a-ling.
bling-a-ling?
Bling-a-ling.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever you
Like, I don't
don't-
think she stuttered.
Guys,
No. We're going with the first one. That is now like part of vocabulary amongst the world.
I don't
Yep, bling-a-ling.
I don't like how our conversations have been going since the start of this session.
Nobody
That's
asked
your
you,
problem.
Otis is
sir.
hard. Otis is hard. Dragon Woman's bobbing on knobs.
Okay, that's just out of context.
Everybody doesn't.
Why is Otis hard?
I don't know. I didn't say it.
Well, we know where his mind is lingering because he's like, this is how I'm taking everything.
This is how I'm.
For real, though, it's like, dude, calm down.
I don't.
Do you need 5 minutes in the
I don't
restroom
even-
by yourself?
I don't even like that sentence. I don't even like that sentence. How I'm taking everything. What do you mean? No, okay. Anyways.
Oh, I meant that with all the
I
implication.
meant all of it. All of it. So moving along, then we have Tempest Inferno, who will be playing the halfling Otis Hirokin. And a halfling, well, I mean, everybody knows what a halfling is, but for those of you out there who do not, they are a 4-foot person, really. And Otis is
Oh, and yeah.
I mean, that's what you are. You're just a 4-foot halfling. Think Hobbit, only a little bit more like sporadic. And
4-foot thing.
yeah. Otis is a cleric / favored soul / champion of Obad High. And while most halflings are pretty easygoing and pretty sped and, whatever, Otis is one of those rare halflings who is just self-aware. And I don't think I had ever met a halfling before who has anger management issues, needs to go talk to Jack Nicholson about that. So
I will end you and your entire bloodline.
see, there you go. There you go. Otis Hirokin, everybody.
That's literally like having a 4-year-old throw a tantrum in front of you. All you can do is kind of snicker and be like, it's okay, little guy.
You know what? Fuck you.
I don't. You know what, Dre? I don't like your attitude. So Otis Hirokin, everyone. Yay. Then we have Android, who will be playing Lord Android Frizen, the half human, half wood elf bard / paladin, which our paladins are prestige class. That makes them all killer, no filler. / Saint of Corlon Larethian. And yeah, Android's kind of going through a midlife crisis. Well, not a midlife crisis. He's just kind of going through some crises, I guess, is how you would pronounce that, maybe. I don't know. Of his own, while still trying to maintain the fact that he is the mouthpiece of the group and trying to be as political as possible. He is the self-proclaimed main character, unless a fight goes down, and then he gives that honor to Uquill. Says
Then he had like a
Passes the baton to you, Quill.
yeah, he hands the spirit stick to Uquill.
boy.
He's also, like I said, he's Lord Android Frizen, so he's got a manner and everything. He's learned a little bit about his lineage, and we will delve into that deeper as the campaign continues. And yeah. And I'm your humble DM, Lord Pog. May our labors please you. I don't know. I don't know. But no. Welcome to Adventures in Loxos. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Doodle, doodle, doodle,
Wonderful intro.
Yeah, boy.
Wonderful intro. Yeah. Boost. How low can you go? So where we last left the group, you guys had started heading off in the direction of where the Lost, they are known as the Lost Myconid, where the Lost Myconid had sent you in that general direction. You guys had made a deal. You made a few deals last session. You made a deal with Lord Varun about getting that ethereal shell to so you could sorry about that. Getting that ethereal shell so you guys could whatchamacallit, so you guys could sell it solely, have the monopoly on it, have a proprietary monopoly on it, and you would go halvesies on it, because apparently it makes some pretty gnarly spell armor. Like mages and stuff prefer this armor because it's real lightweight and doesn't conflict with magic and things like that, and it's pretty decent in defense, so it makes them a little less squishy. And but you guys also made a deal with the Lost to help them clear out a watering hole so they could finally have a place to call their home. That's pretty much where we left off last session. You guys reunited finally with Uquil and Agaragis, because Uquil and Agaragis have been in the desert on a horse with no name for a while there. No, they were in the underworld for a little while trying to survive. You guys know you have to do this to help the Lost, because the Lost will then help you guys locate where that Neolithid went, who swallowed up Dodd and Zoltan's time frame. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, at the end of the day, the time frame is, you guys have all come to realize that that time frame is pretty freaking juicy. I don't know what word I'm looking for. it's pretty free. It's a MacGuffin, really. And you guys don't want it falling into the wrong hands. And Lord Farun has pretty much told you that he doesn't want it falling into his mother's hands, Lolth, for sure. So he's aiding you all in doing this, aiding and abetting. And so we pick up with you guys traveling through the underworld, going in the direction. It feels like eventually it was a pretty wide open space when you guys first began heading in that direction, but it bottlenecks into what feels like a canyon. So that lets you know, and you're just kind of going down a slight decline, right? Down into this like cavernous area, this canyon area. Now it's not a narrow canyon by any stretch of the imagination. You guys are walking shoulder to shoulder or in a group just fine. It's wide. It's a wide area, but it feels like a canyon because you can see on either side of you the sheer rock wall shooting straight up into the darkness of wherever, however high the world above you actually is, wherever that ceiling begins and whatnot. You have no idea. You can't see it. Even people who like Agaragis, who can see perfectly in the dark, can't even see that far up there. That's how far, that is the depth of where you are. And as you're going down this, decline, Android snaps his ankle.
Nice.
I'm gonna need you to roll. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're like, fired. He goes, nice. Like thank you for reminding me. No, but it is just the slightest of declines. Like no need for any checks or nothing. You guys move for about a little bit. You guys get a pretty good go at it until you come to a fork in the road. It basically, you walk up to the canyon wall, corners out. It's just this corner shooting straight up into the air, into the darkness of the ceiling. And you can either go, right down one canyon side or left down the other. Commence in battle. Yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Hit him with the Send It.
You said that they both go downwards?
Well, when I say down, I mean like just. I'm using like the hick term, like going on down. You know what I mean? Like, you're not actually going. Yeah, just one goes forward, right?
Like, does one seem to go further down than the other, or is it like?
I mean, not really. It just decline? No. The decline doesn't. Yeah.
I see.
Don't we have to go back to the veins so we can get back to the?
Yeah. Would you, Quill, remember which direction they came from?
Well, so far this has been a pretty straightforward walk, right? So, you know, so that's what you got to ask yourself: is one of these directions gonna stay just pretty much like straightforward, or are we eventually about to start taking like a whole bunch of twists and turns? And you know, are we now gonna come up to like a T in the road eventually? Or are we gonna come, you know? In which case, I don't know. You know, my meta answer is it will require a roll. My DM answer is you're allowed to play as much D&D as you like.
Neither one of those are answers.
Yeah, neither one of them are the answers you want. You came from a hole in the ground. Remember, you climbed up the crystal pillar. God got ate. There was a big old hole in the ceiling. The Lost picked you up out of it, took you to the vein. But before they did that, they pointed in a whole different direction and said, you know, go down that way and clear out this watering hole for us, if you don't mind. And that's just me completely paraphrasing it. And so you guys haven't gone this direction yet. So yeah, technically it would be a whole new area, wouldn't it? I mean, what is the definition of new? Like, you know, I really don't understand why this is holding you all up so badly. I'm a bit flabbergasted. So what I'm saying is, unless it gets real maze-like, you know, I can't see why you would have a hard time getting back.
I'm gonna go right.
And I feel like you guys are just making sure I'm not going to turn this into a maze. And I promise you nothing. I promise you nothing. All right, so Android begins going right. Does everybody follow him or no?
Sure, why not?
All right, Otis begins to follow. What about everyone else?
I'm gonna start making little scratches in the wall, like in Labyrinth.
Start putting lipstick on the floor.
Yeah.
Little dude comes up out of the floor and flips you off and flips it back over. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm to assume everybody followed Android then? Unless anybody else has any other ideas on where to go. All right then. So you all begin venturing right. And again, you just traveling down this very large, dark canyon of an area. And you begin to curve around to the left. It begins to curve and you curve around to the left. And when you finally reach your destination on the left, you realize that there's another path curving. Oh no, it's curving to the right. You realize that you come up to another path that's curving to the left. And it meets in the middle and takes you down a singular path. And you realize that left or right, it would have taken you to the same spot.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I blame you.
Somehow, like when we came up to there, I was almost like, is this the illusion of choice? But then I didn't want to be a dick saying that, you know?
Yeah.
And now I wish I would have said it.
Yeah.
Now I wish I would have been a dick and said it.
Don't you hate that?
And made it the illusion of choice.
Don't you hate that in video games when they do that to you? They like present you with two paths and you realize both sides would have taken you to the same place. So you run down the other path just to make sure you didn't miss something.
It's a dialogue option, and it's like you can tell the response was actually more geared for the other dialogue option, and it's like, you dick.
Yeah. So you guys begin traveling down this path, and you begin to feel a little weird. Can't be for sure what is going on, but as you travel down, as you start getting like deeper in, you realize that though the walls still be rock, some of it is giving away to vegetation, like plant life and whatnot. And as you walk, you see these buds, these flower buds, about the size of footballs. And as you guys walk past them, they open themselves up. They just open up for your path. It's kind of a neat little thing, really, if you think about it, because it's almost like they're just opening up for your presence. It's like rolling out the red carpet for you, if you will. You know, these flowers just open up and they begin to, at first it's just one here and there, and then maybe two or three, then three or four, and then they just gradually increase in number till it feels like they're almost everywhere, just plucked in these rock walls, just opening up for you. As you begin to travel further down, you begin to feel strange. Let me see here. Everybody but a Garrigus and you, Quill, roll me a fortitude save.
Yes.
Nice.
You got me, right?
Huh?
So you got me, right?
Oh yeah. Yes. I think I do. Okay, yeah, I do. Boo 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 boo. I think I do. Let me see if I can find you. There you are.
Jesus Christ, you know what?
I think I can.
I got it.
Oh no, I got you. I'm going to it. I'm just waiting for it to load at this point.
I think I rolled.
Oh, you sure did.
Cool.
You rolled twice though. So I'm gonna go.
Well,
with
take the first roll because I'm using mobile.
Okay. All right, I'll just go with the first roll then.
No. The second roll's good.
Yeah.
The second roll, I can't see it.
Yeah, it's a 40. Yeah. Go with the second roll. Be a chum. So
Help me out, guy.
yeah. So you guys are all of you, man, like you're starting to feel really fatigued. But all of you are just kind of shaking that off, like what is going on here? And the more you fight it, the more you're experiencing what you, Quill, and Agarrigus are experiencing. You, Quill, and Agarrigus, since they first entered this, the more flowers that seem to appear and open up. Agarrigus and you, Quill, you guys have been smelling like a funny, like, pollen in the air. But this pollen has a sort of spicy smell to it. It's when I say spicy, I mean like what would you call it? You know, like big red gum. I can't think of what that is called.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon, yeah, cinnamon. It's that kind of spicy. It's like big red gum. You know, you guys have been able to smell this entire time, and you can't, you know, and you're just kind of like, oh, these flowers smell kind of nice, perhaps, if you like big red gum. But Android, Zoltan, and Otis, you guys haven't been able to smell anything until now, until you were almost like KO'd, almost fatigued to a point where you didn't want to move anymore. You can now smell it, and because you can smell it, you're kind of hip to what it's trying to do, and you're shaking it off. You're like, no. You realize though that pretty soon, as hard as you might, if you don't find a way out of this freaking wicked garden, you're eventually it will overtake you. All the way down ahead of you, you can see that there's more flowers. Behind you, you know that the flowers decrease. What do y'all do?
Set the place ablaze.
One sec.
Is that your final answer?
I'm not sure if there's anything that I can do about that, but let me check real quick.
I just catch it on fire. Do what, Uquill? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really do much about it.
Okay. What about Uquill, Agaragis, Otis, and Zoltan? What do you guys think? Because again, it's not really affecting Uquill or Agaragis, because Agaragis is immune to pollen because they're mycetid, and Uquill is incapable of being fatigued, if I'm not mistaken, because of his class.
Yep,
Sucks to suck.
pretty much. Nah.
You know,
That's back, dude.
since these two
Get gooder.
if you think about it, since Agaragis and Uquill have entered the underworld, they've become quite the odd couple. Like they are just kind of helping each other out. They're like, I don't know why you guys are struggling so hard down in the underworld, man. We just got out of the in between. Y'all don't even know the horrors we've seen. Like you don't even know. What does but does anybody have any ideas of what they would like to do about this? Because again,
hang on, I'm looking.
That's the wrong one.
because there are no cats in America.
What?
Oh, sorry. It's a song from a movie from when I was a kid. It's I don't know if anybody would have heard of it by this point in life, but it was called American Tail, about a little Russian mouse who moves to America. And
I know what you speak of.
That's the song they sing. They sing there are no cats in America. They believe there's no cats in America. Like America's would be the perfect country because there are no cats in America. And it's like, that is a crazy allegory that they're laying down right now in this kid's movie. You know?
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weird world of Pog's brain.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't lying, though. Well, I'm trying to give everybody like a chance to kind of see what they can all do and stuff, and, you know, trying to give everybody ample opportunity to function.
How many is there of us
There are
that are tired, I guess?
that are becoming fatigued. There are 3 of you who are becoming fatigued. They're fighting it off pretty good right now, but the longer they last in there, eventually they will have to roll again.
Okay. Can I use my invigorating score on like each person?
Yeah. Sure can. Be sure to remove however many points that costs each time from your spore pool.
Okay.
You should have like 200, I think, or 2,000 or some crazy number, something like that. That was a huge jump. I'm like 200, 2,000.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
9,999. I don't know. But yeah, like just be sure to see whatever the spore cost is, and then look on your page wherever you put your spore pool and subtract it. When that spore pool is completely gone, you have to rest 24 hours. Of course, if you don't use up all the spores, right? And I think I specified that down in the rules somewhere. Rest, you'll whatever you lost. So.
But yeah, Agaricus is just kind of like looking around at everybody, and it's like, oh, well, it seems like we're fine, but what would Dodd do?
Yeah, WWDD. Sorry, I'm kind of tired tonight, and so my humor is kind of broken. Anyways, cool. So, Garrigus, you explain to me what, like, when you use your spores to do things like that, do they, like, depending on what kind of spore you use, does it vary your performance, your ritual or whatever? Or is it always like just pretty much the same thing, just a different effect? Like, what's that look like as you walk up to, let's say just you walk up to Android first and spore him. What's that look like? Spore him. That's becoming canon.
He's kind of like, it's almost like air bubbles that he's like emitting from his like, I guess I'm gonna call it crown, his like little mushroom top.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like bubbling out, almost kind of like moves like smoke, if that makes sense.
Like
but
gas?
Yeah. Kind of gassy, and it kind of just floats over to you guys, and then I can't even.
Your words hard. Yes.
Encompassing? No, I don't know what.
Fuck. I wasn't paying complete attention because I was reading something, but all I heard was fucking word death. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is going fucking on here?
Are you trying to say like the same thing as engulf? Like it engulfs them?
Yeah, encompasses.
Yeah, encompasses. Yeah.
I just could not get it out.
I think I was having the same trouble you were having when I tried to say it. I wanted to keep saying incapacitates, and I'm like, that's the opposite. What you're trying to do to them.
I was having the math because like I'm reading on like what my thing does, and the wording of it says twice your class level times your charisma bonus. But the shitty part is their example can make your brain hurt. So it's like a 7th level dragon shaman with a charisma score of 14 plus 2 bonus can heal 28 points of damage. But if again you're using, that's why I hate when books do this, not only is the class level the same thing as the charisma, so like your brain can confuse the two, right? That should get multiplied by the two. Like, because 7 times 7, or 7 plus 7 is 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so both are 14. So yeah, and I'm like, because mine is way more than that. And it's like, am I doing this right? Am I giving myself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like again, I try not to fucking like make my character stupid for no good reason, just because I'm a dumbass sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you started asking me math questions. That just reminded me to open up my calculator. So good on you for that, because I completely forgot, and I was gonna need that eventually. I mean, I know it was just an easy one, 7 plus 7, but it's like, yeah. Let me double check.
Well, yeah.
If I say
for
yes,
me,
we should double check this.
Yeah, mine was 12. Which made 24 times 2, which is 48. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me math that, because that sounded too easy.
Yeah.
And I'm not nearly awake enough to fucking justify my own.
Yeah. Your own rationale.
Yeah, it's like that could be off.
So, well, so Agaragis walks over and does that each one of you, and you guys watch as this like smoke bubble ring type thing just starts coming out of Agaragis's cap. Each one of you watch this as it just kind of bubbles out and then swirls up to you kind of like a gas and engulfs your body. Android, Zoltan, and Otis, and all the fatigue you were feeling, like it's like getting smelling salts. You guys are just kind of like and you're feeling yeah, exactly. Like you guys are just, now you're rearing to go. You're like, ooh,
fucking diesel.
oh yeah, your heart is pumping diesel now.
Otis is slapping at the smoke.
He's just whiffing his hands at it like, oh, what is this? It does though. You guys are feeling way more energized now, rearing to go. But you can still smell the cinnamon, and you know that this will only last so long before the flowers eventually start to try and overtake you again. Quill, what was it you were trying to do? Were you trying to like do like an aura of some type or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
My own thing.
Oh, okay. Just double checking. I didn't know what you were actually mathing, so.
Something I haven't used yet.
Yeah. So, do you guys like begin to double time it down this hall now? Just start trying to like outrun these flowers, as it were. Well, I'm just gonna say y'all do, really. Except Agaragis. Agaragis, you fall behind because your legs are quite short. And Agaragis just jumps on to pick somebody's back, and you guys just begin to double time it down this hall.
And it be Otis because we're like the same size.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. So Otis and Agaragis fall back because that there's just like no way there's no way they're making that happen. Otis is like down running bipedal, and Agaragis is pretty much just like riding them like a pony at this point, because I mean that's the only way that's gonna work.
Quill stops and chuckles because he has nothing to worry about, and he thinks this is the funniest thing he's ever fucking seen.
You guys just like, but you guys make it down this tunnel, and you're like making it, and all these flowers are just popping open, and they're going by your guys' speed too. Like the faster you move down this thing, the faster they just.
Yeah, Quill's on that. Why are you running?
Why are you running? Yeah. But you guys do. You come out of the cavern into a wider area, and you know, you Quill, your vision is pretty wonky. So you and I think the only one of you who can see perfectly in the dark right now is Agargus. And Agargus, I'm gonna need you to roll a spot. I mean,
Can I use my sun rod?
oh wait, Zoltan, you would have perfect dark vision too because you lived in the, yeah, you would have it too. You can see just as perfectly too. So if you want to use a sun rod to hand to people, that's fine, but you can see at least. So if you want to use that sun rod, that's cool.
The question is, would Zoltan think to brandish the sun rod if he himself can see perfectly?
He might like crack one and just hand it, like toss it to somebody, like here you go, toss it to him. That's yeah, basically. It's kind of like a magic flare, if you will.
Yeah, that is the question, Zoltan.
No, y'all don't get the sun rod now. That's mine.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the question is altruism, and there we go.
I'm trying to figure out what all I can do with it. I know.
That a boy.
You can see. Well, oh well. Is it that one special sun rod, the immovable one?
Yeah, that's what I'll have.
You can build like a ladder with it, basically, just like a. You can go, yeah. It can do so. It's a utility item, but it can do some funky things. Yeah, just have to mess with it a bit. But Zoltan and Agargus, I'm gonna need you both to roll spot checks.
Oh.
For me, yeah. Oh my gosh. Agargus, that is terrible. that is
Nothing's known about this nifty little device yet. That's funny.
Yeah, so you guys are running. Agargus, you don't really take much notice to this, but Zoltan, you come running up and you notice that there's a rock fixture or something up ahead of you. It looks like a miniature mountain type fixture sitting there, but it's a different color than everything else. It's not the dull gray. It is almost fleshy colored. And it's, at first you don't really pay that much attention to it because you're just like mineral deposits or something, you know? That ain't nothing. But then you notice it breathe.
Can I use my sun rods to light it up?
You sure may. So you pull out your sun rod, and because these are those special sun rods, you don't crack those. Like, you pull up that sun rod and it actually like opens up. It doesn't really open up. It extends for a minute, like sectioning itself out with like a smaller rod in the center of it. It just click, and then collapses back down. And when it collapses back down, it lights, the whole rod lights up, and you hold it out in its direction, do you?
Yeah.
You hold it out in its direction, and you realize it's got a whole face. It's some kind of giant beast laying there. It doesn't have any eyes. It is a very deformed looking creature that has no eyes, but a massive mouth. And you now notice that on its back, it's got what looks like mounds of something. And as you hold the light up to it, it stirs a little bit. Kind of. And it begins to stand up on these 4 massive legs. It walks on 4 legs, and this thing is huge. It is a beast of a creature, to say the least. And
has anyone else seen this yet?
oh, everybody's seeing it now.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's taking notice to it now. Y'all were running and you yeah, and then you stirred you poked the bear. The thing about it is the second it
Damn it, Zoltan.
starts coming to, you notice the mounds on its back. Out of them.
Are they boobs?
Yeah, beautiful freaking tits.
He stunned himself with that one. He's like, oh yes, I said titties.
Well, it's just it's because in Fear and Loathing when he sees the boobs on Dr. Gonzo's back and he's like, beautiful effing tits. That's which one are they boobies? That's what it made me think of. Yeah. So out of the mounds on its back start whipping all these crazy tendrils, just and yeah, and it's you don't, like I said, you don't see any eyes on the thing, but it turns its head in your guys' direction. Agaragis and Zoltan, you guys are allowed to roll a do you guys have like a knowledge of not geography, of local, or I will allow you to roll a knowledge of local, a knowledge of geology, or just a straight up intelligence check. Because you guys might be familiar with this thing and might know what it is. And Agaragis, you might really know what it is now that I think about it, so your check won't be as difficult.
I got knowledge of nature.
That will work. That will work if you want to roll that. Yeah.
I already rolled the intelligence.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll let you try and roll the knowledge of nature because that's my bad. I should have thought about that. Knowledge of nature would work. For something like this, yeah. And you'll know why in a minute.
Can I switch my mood ring to my intelligence?
You sure may. As long as you just tell me, like you just say, I'm switching to intelligence, I'll be like, yeah, go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever you roll now, you'll get a +4 to. Good grief. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's still a 21 though. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, you better get all of these out of your system now, because when a critical fail matters, that's gonna hurt. But yeah, yeah, both of you know what this thing is. You guys have heard separate things about it. Zoltan, you've just heard about it every once in a while, like when you were growing up, hearing about drow raiding parties and stuff coming back, talking about the phantom. And it's, you know, giant body, it's tendrils. I mean, just the fact that it is just one of the worst things, you know. Agaragis, you have heard about this thing too. It is called a phantom fungus. And yeah, it's yes. It is just this, basically it's a fungi. But it's not like the mycetid. It's not connected to you all at all. You've heard legend of it. Something about once upon a time there was a mad wizard in the underworld who created these things, and then abandoned them, because now you see why he abandoned them, because they're just, I mean, look at it. It's just this giant, bulbous, disgusting fungus with tendrils coming out of its back and this huge, you know, maw of a mouth. It's aware of you guys. Now, it doesn't seem to be particularly aggressive. I will point out. What do you all want to do?
Poke it with a stick.
Oi! There it be. I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Are you gonna beat it up like pirates did to like dodo birds?
Whoa.
I mean,
That got out of hand fast.
I mean, yeah. I'm like, what are we talking about right now?
Are you talking about like
What kind of analogy are you using right now?
that
She
thing is
chose-
bigger than us.
She chose violence and it can't see her.
Look at Hank. He's the one poking the stick.
It is looking in your guys' direction. I will say that, but it, like I said, it doesn't seem particularly aggressive.
No. Even if it had eyes, it couldn't see her.
Yeah. John Cena.
It doesn't appear very intelligent, or does it? Android's radar of things like that has gone askew. It's
Oh,
like that's kind of why it's like the Tala doesn't, you know, because he just got back from a land where it speaks.
yeah. It honestly, you can't really. I will say this: if you were to just look at it, right? If you were to just look at it with no context, you would just see it in a picture. You'd be like, if somebody was like, "This is my kid," you would look at it and be like, "Man, your kid's dumb as hell. Look at that thing. Look at that look on his face." You know what I'm saying? But
Otis is
but-
going to slowly approach it
okay,
Yeah.
and pull out a cooked
Go
fish.
for it, Otis.
and pull out a what?
A cooked fish. I have one single cooked fish.
He's gonna try and make a pet.
No.
So proud.
He goes, "No, I'm just gonna try and give it something to eat while we run."
I mean, if it becomes my pet, I'll take it, but
Yeah.
Should we try
So-
to get a ride?
Go ahead.
wait, what?
It's looking at you guys right now like, "Hey, you guys." Notice you slowly approach it with the cooked fish, right? And
Mhm.
go ahead and roll. Shoot. What did I have you? I'm just gonna have you roll a handle.
He's so fucking dead.
I'm gonna have you roll a handle animal. Just go ahead and roll a handle
All right.
animal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the player formerly known as Otis.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I tried. But it's not really that intelligent, and you try to like get close to it with the fish holding out, and one of the tendrils whips down and freaking slaps the fish out of your hand, and then goes to grapple you, Otis. Roll a grapple. Okay, but where?
I don't know. You fucking tell me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why isn't it talking to me? Oh, you're oh, but you are quite small to it. Okay, that's gonna help you out quite a bit. Okay, minus, what would that be? -4 because you're small. All right, well, I tried to help you out
Out
with
of
that one.
context, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I tried to help you out with that one too, but it whips down and gets you by the leg, Otis, and just lifts you up off the ground, like high up off the ground. Much to everybody's like, "Oh my gosh," you know, like you guys watch Otis just get that fish slapped out of his hand with one tendril, and another tendril just whips down, wraps around his leg, and just lifts him up off the ground, just, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my wand of lightning, point it at him, and use it.
Well, before you do that, I need you to roll me a reflex.
Oh,
Okay.
he's about to die.
No, it's nothing like that. It's actually because he's pulling out items right now. I'm about to see if he experiences a bully thing and gets all his items shook out of his as he gets tossed up. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Damn.
So you get you that one you managed. So you get whipped up into the air and you like keep everything in place. You're like, oh, I'm losing my stuff. And while you're doing that, you whip out the rod of your wand of lightning.
The wand of lightning.
Yeah, and bzz. So roll your damage because it's just an automatic hit. How many charges does that wand of lightning have? Or are those the ones that are like single charge use, and you bought like a grip of them to just have to do that, or did you buy one that had like charges
I remember
in it?
correctly, yeah. This one has 4 more charges, so after this use I'll have 3.
All right, I couldn't remember because I remember that they had told you there's your single use ones, and then you can pay a little extra and buy one with charges in it. And I couldn't remember if you bought like a grip of single use or you just bought one of the. Yeah, so because that was a while back. That was several years ago. Yeah, so it's raising you up to try and put you in its mouth, and you, just blast him right off his freaking, I guess what you would call its nose, with a bolt of lightning. It just comes flashing out of the wand and just hits it right in the nose, and it's like, and starts whipping around its tendrils, still holding on to your leg, just flinging you around through the air.
It's back and forth. I whip my Otis back and forth.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are like watching this happen, like trying to whip my Otis back and forth. Anyways, you guys are trying. That messed me up. Yeah. Anyways, you guys are you guys are like watching this happen, getting ready to try and figure out how to get Otis down from this phantom fungus, as it were. Because I imagine that Zoltan and Agaragis recognize what this thing is, but I also imagine they didn't bother to tell anybody what this thing is.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They even allowed Otis to go walking up there knowing this thing's patterns, and we're just like, oh, he's gonna feed it a fish. Oh, let's see what happens.
No,
If Otis dies, that's your fault again. That you caused another problem, Zoltan. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
You guys watch though, and just for the record, this isn't going to count against anybody's spell slots. This is just all flavor text. But you guys watch out of the darkness as Lord Varen's assistant Ipton appears behind you all. Like, you guys are kind of like, what, how do we get him down? I don't know, you know what I mean? Because he's high up there. So if he falls, like straight falls, the dilemma you're running into is that if he straight up falls, it's gonna be like the way an eagle kills a rabbit, it just flies it straight up in the air and then drops it and lets its bones liquefy. You know what I mean? Like, Otis is gonna be in like Pound Town for a minute, like that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Otis is gonna be.
Yeah.
See, it's the
wailed around. You just be like, hey, not to cause any stress to anybody or anything, but can you please get me down?
Well, yeah. Although, that's what Otis in his mind is saying, but what's coming out of his actual mouth is woohoo. But you guys see,
you cool smoking a cigar at this point, like, well, that just fucking happened.
Yeah, you guys watch as Ipton, Lord Varen's assistant, appears out of the darkness. Now, if you remember Ipton, he is a half drow, who is Lord Varun's new liaison since he fired Shyla, or demoted Shyla, I guess, or gave her a new position, however you want to really look at it. He's a bald half drow, and you know, half drow tend to be albino instead of like dark. You know, it's kind of like the opposite happens to them. They become real pale skin with dark hair instead of real dark skin with pale hair. And he appears before you all out of the darkness. What in the actual crap, dude? There we go. He appears out of the darkness before you all, watching this happen, and he's just like, oh dear. As something comes, you guys see something come flying past his head out of the darkness and go flying up to Otis and actually snatch him out of its tendrils and come and blast it again with some kind of magic that hits the freaking phantom fungus in the face and backs it up for a minute to where it has to like regroup. And this is all happening at such speeds, it almost seems like time has stopped for a minute to get that done. And then the person who's flying Otis comes and lands before you. And standing there before you is a strange sight indeed. One that you did not think, out of all the places of all the times, this person is extremely familiar yet different. Standing before you is a high elven man with long light brown hair and bright green eyes.
That's a woman.
He is an elf. All elves look like that, Agaragis. You're one to talk, all right? We don't even know what you are. No. But standing there before you is this high elf male, and you all
Words.
you all recognize him, but you don't at the same time.
Well, that makes no fucking
Standing,
sense.
well, it's because the last time you saw him, he is familiar, but he looks completely different because it's like it's him, but not him. And standing there before you is Mindock.
I set it on fire.
Andrew checks his shadow.
I set it on fire! He came fire!
What's happened to this time?
You're being set ablaze.
Am I still being held?
Oh no, he set you down. He like set
Fuck
you
no.
down. Like
Okay, good.
he landed and
That
set
shit
you down.
smells.
I set it on fire. I don't care if he looks like a zebra.
No,
It's catching
like
fire.
if you wanna fucking go for it, try please.
Equal cooks it.
You know, Otis is just staring at him, ready to draw weapons. Like, the fuck?
Vengeance is mine!
Mandoc just looks around at all of you and kind of senses that you're like, you know, sees Otis reaching for weapons, sees you quilting whatever the fuck he's doing, and just says deadpan, staring, I just have questions.
Ipton, Ipton steps forward and he goes, sorry about the intrusion. Lord Varun hired this wizard who showed up on his front steps, you could say. He noticed that you guys were lacking a wizard, and he just happened to find this one, and he thought that he would be useful to your party.
Yuquil completely ignores that and he grabs he grabs Android and he's like, do I burn it? Do I burn it now? Do I burn it now? Do I burn it now? Just shaking him. It's answer the questions, man.
Android checks his shadow.
Does he really?
Yeah,
Does he really? Roll.
Okay.
Roll me a spot.
Mind dog starts casting a spell.
Begins casting a spell. Like, this is breaking down real quick.
the way it should.
Oh
The
my
group
gosh.
this is the most dysfunctional set of characters that was together at one time. This is par for the fucking course.
Yeah. So Android, you begin to like just feel the fear, and you begin to check your shadow, and you're looking at it, and then you think you see something, and you slap your hand in there, and you hear a very familiar voice say, "Ow, paisano, that crap kills!" And you see a shadow come up out of your shadow. That resembles a little girl but sounds like Biggs, and he's got bright glowing white eyes, but he closely resembles like what Elsa's shadow would look like. He's like, for crying out loud, Android. He's like, what are you doing?
What the fuck is happening?
Mind dog's gaze just locks to Biggs, and he just asks, "Why did you reveal yourself now?"
He says, what? He goes, who are you talking to? I don't even know who you are, man.
Turns back to Android and sort of you and Otis and just says, "As I said, questions."
I'm also going to point out
You're
that,
not the only one.
Otis, this kind of freaks you out a little bit too, because you knew you saw something hovering around Android that one day when you looked at him in the crystal. You know, you just knew it. You're right. Yeah. Like all this is happening, right? Like Uquil's like, can I kill him or what? And Mind Doc's like, can I get answers? And then Otis is like, oh, yo, I'm with him. Like, what is going on? And now Android is arguing with Biggs, who just, for whatever reason, is here in Android shadow with no explanation.
Android vomits on you, Quill, first. And he like wipes his mouth and he's like, okay, let's hear Mind Doc out first.
By the 9 hells, boy.
Here's the thing. What? Couple of things. What is Agaragis doing at this moment? Like, with all this going on around them, what is Agaragis now doing? I'm just curious as to what Agaragis' mind state is, because this all broke down really fast. Like, I can't believe this all happened like this, but yeah.
That's basically how Garrett is.
How it's supposed to be.
Just kind of wide-eyed and kind of like crouches down and just stays quiet and is just observing.
So Android says, let's hear Mind Doc out. And Uquil's like, by the 9, man, are you serious? And then Ipton steps forward and he goes, I don't mean to be a bother, but and he points past you guys, and the Phantom Fungus is now back too, and it's fully aware of your guys' like location. And the few tendrils it had coming out earlier when it grabbed Otis has doubled. It's on its back is just these mounds with just tendrils just whipping. Looks like a Hydra's freaking like neck, man, just slapping around, and it goes at you guys.
I was hoping it might have retreated.
And Ipton takes a step back and he goes, well, good luck to you. And he turns around and claps his like boots together, just fuck, and then takes off
Well,
into
fuck
the
you
darkness.
too there, Dorothy.
Into the darkness. He's like, he hears you say that, and he goes, "This is what we hired you for." He just takes off.
With that said, Maddox is going to start like floating over the party to kind of such an angle that it puts them between him and the tentacle thing.
I'm gonna need. Okay, so I don't care who rolls it, but I'm gonna need everybody to tally up their initiative right now. Everybody's initiative. What is that number? Like, everybody start giving me numbers. We'll start with you, Quill. What is your initiative?
The number.
Yes.
Is that just the?
Yeah.
Is that just Dex mod?
No, well, it might be, but it'll say on your character sheet, it'll say just initiative. Yeah.
So yeah, but you don't roll anything. Yeah, gotcha.
I'm sorry, you, Quill. What is it?
10.
10 is your initiative right now? Good grief.
You forgot. Why do you think I was so useless those first couple of us? I dumped all my feats on things that were going to pay off later, not quickly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I took anything that helped initiative. I have.
Oh, okay, so it's not pure Dex. That makes more sense. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my Dex is already a 3. I have improved initiative, and I have something else.
No, I was like, you has Dex though. No.
Zoltan. Well, hold on. Zoltan, what is your I'm just going down the line real quick. Zoltan, what is your initiative?
Dose.
2? Okay.
See, that's what happens when you suck.
Okay. Agaragis, what is your initiative?
Question real quick.
-5.
My initiative is 2, but if I change my move ring to my dex, would it?
It should have some kind of effect on it. Without actually putting it in there, if you put that +4 into the actual temporary section on there, it'll show you what your new initiative is.
It is 4 now.
Okay, +4. Okay.
Good catch.
Tempest, I guess I'll have to look at yours, huh?
It's a 2. I can
It's a
see
2.
it.
Oh, you can? Okay. I didn't know.
Yes, I'm going to take care of myself because, you know.
Okay. Dude,
Captain Reliable.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind helping you. Jeez.
Yeah, you took too long the first time, so I just pulled up Roll20 on my phone.
Yeah. Android, what is your initiative?
It is 4.
4? Okay, and oh my gosh, what? Okay, hold on. I effed that completely up. Okay, 10 2 plus 4 plus what was your initiative again, Otis? I'm sorry. 2? Okay. Plus 4. What is yours, Mindoc?
That's 4.
4. Okay. So your guys' total initiative is a +26. Okay? That is your full initiative right now as it stands. So... And I don't care who rolls it, but somebody can just roll the initiative if they want. 1d20 plus 26. This freaking guy's stuff that I have done. He is... I made him a little bit more salty than what he is in the monster manual.
I'm not even sure if I should be sharing an initiative pool yet. Let's see.
Well, yeah, maybe not, but you know, for the sake of just
okay, I was gonna. There we go. Yeah. Nice.
For the sake of candor, that's what we're gonna do.
Nice roll.
Yeah, not bad.
Real.
Yeah, you won. 45 beats a 27. So
most days.
Yep. Most days.
Unless it's backwards day.
Or you're playing Call of Cthulhu.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. So 1d4. Let's find out what it's gonna get to do here. Okay, so it only gets to move this round. It won't get to attack on the attack round. So you guys get to go first. Tell me your movements. What does everybody do? Or you can discuss.
I do as I stated before.
Yeah, you begin flying over the party. Okay.
Which, mind you, is just kind of hovering, standing up straight.
Yeah. How high up do you go?
Like just enough to get over their head. The point is what distance horizontally.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like you're probably about like 15. Just you know what I'm saying? About 15 feet up. Enough to be over their head, but not so high up that they're like starting to vanish into the darkness up there. What is everybody else doing?
I'm matching that energy.
You're flying too? How high up do you go?
The same distance.
So, picture this, Mind Doc. You go hovering up like, okay. And then you just watch, like, out of your peripheral vision, you just see Zoltan just come hovering up next to you, just like a little ways off, you know, but just boom, just hovering as well. Just up there.
I kind of notably readjust his course to be a little bit further away, like just a little.
just
maintaining space.
Yeah.
Get that sword away from me.
What about everybody else? Uquill, Agargus, Android. Yeah. Oh, Otis. I'm like, yeah, that's it. No. Otis as well.
Otis just disappears into thin air. No longer exists.
Just too much for me.
Wah wah
Oh.
wah.
Whoa, whoa.
How do I move Ruckus?
Oh yeah, Ruckus has been with you this whole time, huh?
Yeah.
You just tell me what Ruckus is doing.
He's gonna be on the front line with Uquill.
Okay, so he moves over to where Uquill is at that moment. Now, I will say that I'm gonna say he had to go about 10 feet to do that, to get over by Uquill. And you can just say like wherever Uquill moves to, he will move to as well, and just kind of back him up. The thing is that if Ruckus's movement runs out before Uquill gets to where he's going, Ruckus, it'll be like Uquill just moved so fast he moved ahead of Ruckus, and you'll have to move Ruckus up to him next round. Okay?
Alrighty.
Right.
That reminds me actually that Crow's gonna fly out of the darkness and land on my shoulder because I do not trust it on its own currently.
That's what Ruckus be looking like. Yeah, and just for the Android, by the way, Biggs just kind of looks at you and he goes, "Oh, well," and he just kind of points at the phantom fungus, and he points at you, Android, and he goes, "Well, looks like you're in some kind of trouble here, Paisona, so we'll just talk later, okay? Love you, bye." And he just boop, bounces right up out.
Android puts that in a box and puts it on a shelf for now.
The big ass
Keeps
fucking
his
shelf.
eyes
For the record, I'm going to say Solar has now dismounted from your shoulder and is kind of hovering. And he's like, you think he would be looking at the phantom fungus, but he's actually eyeballing Mindoc kind of critically.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question, is if Solar was still on my shoulder.
Yeah, Solar is on your shoulder, but like he's looking at Mindoc.
Yeah.
I will say that the expression on his face isn't one of necessarily ticked off, but it's confusing the way he's looking at Mindoc. You would have to roll a sense motive to read his facial expression.
Is this like obvious?
Hmm?
Is the stare obvious?
No, you're not. Because they're standing behind you. You're looking at the phantom fungus. You have no idea that Solar is even eyeballing you.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say that like Crow was probably staring at the other bird. Is all.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe.
Crow is looking just Solar, just dead in the eyes. Mindok is focused on the big fucking, well,
Yeah.
his surroundings, I guess.
He might be, but I don't know. Like, it depends. Is Crow really like bothered with that right now, or is he staring at the fungus too? You know what I'm saying? It's really
He's
up
not
to
really
you.
bothered by the fungus, frankly.
Okay. So he's like staring at Solar, who's staring at you. Like Solar's got not even like paying attention to Crow at all. You know what I mean? But like
Crow's habit is like look where Mindok isn't looking kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's like having eyes in the back of your head. But Android, you could see a look of like confusion on Solar's face. There is a bit of like he's like perturbed, and you can't really tell why. But he looks extremely perturbed and somewhat annoyed. All right, so what is Uquill doing with his actions? With his movement action?
Otis still needs to move. Otis is going to get to where he can basically see everybody clearly.
I'm sorry, dude. I was just like, I was gonna come to you. I was
Give me
gonna get
again.
around to you. I was just trying to get, because we still have like
Mm-hmm.
four of you. Yeah. So you're getting to where you can see everybody.
Yeah.
Is that behind the group then? You're moving to the back of the group?
Yeah, I'd say really beside Android, but behind everybody else.
Okay, so I'm gonna say you probably had to move probably about like 15 feet to do that, to get to where you are. You know what I mean? I don't know what Otis's actual speed normally is, but you had to
20.
move about 15. Yeah, so took up almost all your movement to do it, but you got to him. You know. Now you can see everybody. Android's standing off to the side, so everybody's kind of on your right hand side right now as you're watching everyone. What about, okay, now what about you? Excuse me, what about Uquill? What is Uquill doing? What about Bob?
Nice.
Uquill's just kind of standing there, like watching everybody disperse, and he's just glaring at Mindok like, other useless.
For the moment, he
the
gets
party."
no acknowledgement.
He could care less. He's just like, God
Yeah,
damn it."
exactly.
He just kind of like slowly like turns his head like kind of glancing back towards the thing. And he's like, of all the motherfuckers we get back, another useless tool. Pulls out his sword, busts out his aura for power, and he's just like, hey, Uquill, just go get punched in the face when we stand back here. He's just mumbling to himself as he's just strolling forward. He's like, fucking useless motherfuckers. God, shit. And he's got that like endearing grin. Like there's a small part of him that is happy, but he's just like, I will kill him. he's
So
not happy. It's that weird like old friends that became enemies, but it's like, good to see you, you bitch.
yeah. So you're going, you're just marching up to the fungus.
Yeah. Yes. What am I gonna? What? I'm gonna cast punch from a distance. Yes, I'm walking up.
All right, so you had. To
I walk about 10 feet in front of it. I'm just like, that's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jay, yeah.
You move about 30 feet. It takes you about 30 feet to get to the position you're trying to get to, right? And because Ruckus is following you, what is Ruckus's speed, Zoltan?
His is 40, so he can.
Yeah, so he
he'll
kept
be right
up.
beside him.
Yeah, he kept up because he only moved 15, so he managed to.
I
keep
noticed
the
him
pace.
like kind of like moving with, and I just kind of put my hand out. And I'm like, stay just a smidge off to the side. This is gonna get spicy.
Ruckus kind of looks at you like, do you know who I am? But he does. He just kind of steps off to the side, just like, all right, then. He's like, have at it. What about Android and Agaragis? What are you guys doing at this point? What is Solar doing exactly now?
I'm gonna say Android's gonna look at Solar and be like, go keep you, Quill, and Zoltan healthy, you know? Gives him that directive, like, if you don't mind. He's gonna point him in that direction to go over there by them within range.
My only real friends.
Android's gonna take a couple steps back and get ready to play some music. He's gonna whip out his violin.
You hear Biggs from your shadow say, play that one tune I like. You know, the one.
Android shudders.
I'm gonna say, is Android having a hard time with this right now, would you say?
It's making it hard for him to focus at the moment.
Okay. Okay. What about Agaragis? What is Agaragis doing?
Since it's a fungus, can I plant my feet and like send mycelium through the ground to it and try to like either talk to it or I don't know, tickle its toes? So
Roll me a handle animal. You're allowed to play as much D&D as you like, and this idea intrigues me. Roll me a handle animal. Like, I got 0 in roll handle animal. All right, let's go. It's do or die, baby. We got one shot. So is that just a straight 10? No buffs or nothing? Because I believe handle animal is a charisma based thing.
Most days they end in Y.
am I allowed to, can I change my memory?
You would have been if you had mentioned it before you wrote. No, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it this one time. I'll let you do it this one time, but so that's technically a 14. So you plant your root and call out to the fungus, and it kind of snorts for a minute. It kind of like stops. It looks like it wants to fight, and all of you kind of visibly notice its tendrils kind of slow down for a minute and just kind of barely just kind of whip around. They haven't fallen completely. It doesn't look like a wilted flower or anything, but they're just kind of slowly kind of whipping through the air as the phantom fungus kind of just snorts real loud, like Agaragis, you find yourself in your mind's eye, like in this dark place, and out of the darkness, all you can see is just the phantom fungus's head. Like, it's not disembodied from the rest of its body per se. It's almost like just its face is the only thing peeking out of the darkness enough for you to be able to see it. What do you say to it?
What's the matter, you? Why are you so sad?
This is your ambassador, guys. This is the one that could get you out of the fight. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, we knew we were doomed.
It just looks at you for a minute, Agaragis, and it says, where? Why I know back where I was. Where I be now. me tell! You me tell where I be now! Where now I be?
Where you wanna go? Where go now?
Go where now? Hmm?
Where you want to go now?
Roll another handle animal. Oh my gosh.
Man.
It says, where I be? And it just kind of echoes through your head, just whoa, 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 whoa. It says, where I be now? You know where I be now. Tell me you will. Outside of all this, you guys have noticed that its tendrils have started to speed up again quite considerably. It's looking extremely agitated.
Well, that can't be good.
Ruckus just kind of growls. Agargus, what do you do? This is your show. You tell me.
He says, "Me now in mind. Are you okay?"
Mind? Mind.
My mind.
I mind. My mind. What is? It's almost like you're watching this from like third person view, and it's becoming like a shaky camera. It feels like this thing is starting to try and break your hold of it. Like it's completely rejecting your narrative.
Can I pet it?
Go ahead and roll me one more handle animal and do better.
That works so well for me.
So for 5, 6, 16. Okay.
Poke it in the eye.
You walk up to it and you put your hand out to it and you start petting it, and at first it kind of snorts at you. And then like the more you pet it, it just looks at you for a minute, and it gets like right up into your grill. I mean, you look like an M&M to it. It kind of, and then it softens for a minute and it goes, "Mama? Mama!" And the mental leak breaks, but outside of all of that, like Agargus, your mental leak like breaks with it. But outside of all that, you guys watch the freaking phantom fungus just start looking around like desperately, and it sees you, Agargus, and it just softens. You guys watch as the tendrils just kind of whip around, and they, like a bunch of them, just kind of come together and form up like touch tips and slant in, and you guys just watch as a bunch of hearts, like the tendrils are just making hearts all over its back, and it's just like, "Roar!" And it goes charging through everyone. I'm gonna need you, Quill, and Ruckus to make reflex saves.
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna need Zoltan and Mindoc to make reflex saves.
Oh, fuck no. Okay.
Oh, why?
I'm
There's a guy
falling
gets
out the
behind me.
sky. How do I roll a
Genuine
reflex
question.
save?
Do what?
There's a guy gets behind me.
Yeah.
How should I get
Agargus,
behind everyone?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Agaragis is behind. The only people who are behind Agaragis right now are oh, I'm gonna need Solar to make a reflex save too.
Oh, okay.
The only people who aren't behind or who Agaragis isn't behind is Android and Otis, because they made a point of saying Android made a point of saying he backed up behind everyone to start playing music, and Otis made a point of saying he went over by Android.
And then behind him some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reflex.
Yep, a reflex.
How do I roll one for Ruckus again?
You just look at what it says on his handout and look for where it says REF, and then you roll 1d20 plus that number.
Damn.
There goes Android's good looking today.
Yeah, Android didn't even need to roll a reflex. He's behind Agaragis. Oh, he rolled that for Solar though. Yeah. Oh yeah, Solar just daftly moves, like he doesn't even really reflex. What he does is he flies straight at the thing's legs and just kind of freaking, Hoth battles in between, just around his legs and just boom out the other side. Like no.
Bird will never die. Wood. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Nice. Okay, and Ruckus like kind of follows suit. He sees what Solar's doing, and he does his displacer mode and makes himself real, like, just intangible for a minute. And one of his like decoys gets stomped into, but he doesn't. And he just kind of off to the side. Let's see. Mindoc got a 29 and Zoltan got a 27. Mindoc and Zoltan both, like the freaking Red Sea, just, you guys don't really like move. You guys just kind of float to the sides like a curtain being drawn back. You guys are like, up out of the way. You get kicked. You're like ready to kill this thing and it just goes crazy, and you're just kind of like, I'm gonna say that really it isn't so much that this thing is faster than you, it's the fact that the hearts on the back, when you watched its tendrils make hearts all over its back, just like come together and form all these weird little hearts, you kind of dropped your sword for a minute and went, what the and then it just boom, booted you by accident, because it just completely took you off guard. You're like, that is like disgusting and sweet at the same time, and I don't know really how to feel about that. He kicks you, doing so he kicked you a ways. Let me actually roll that first. Oh my gosh, just roll it. So he didn't kick you that far. He kicked you 20 feet back. You know what I mean? So you manage, even when you get kicked, you manage to realize what's happening, and you kind of like brace yourself, which means it really doesn't do that much damage to you. Oh, not 13. Oh, boy, I almost really just hurt you by accident. Is it Chinga? So it did like 25 points of damage to you. You know what I mean? And, that's really nothing. That's a drop in the bucket for you, Quill. So it pretty much just feels like you get kicked back. You manage to brace yourself just enough to like mitigate some of that, to keep yourself from just flying for miles, or for yards. And you land on your back, and it just feels like your back pops. Like you just feel your back go crack. And you're like, oh, so it's delightful and terrible at the same time. You know, you're just like, oh man, I've been so stiff anyways. As it goes running, yeah, it just goes running through everybody. And it comes running up to you, Agaragis, and it like, if it had a tail, it would be wagging it. Because its whips are just whipping around, and its tongue is now out of its mouth, and it's just and its whole butt is wagging, and now all of you are like turned, like watching its backside, and you're just watching this tailless butt wag back and forth like it's got a tail, as it like leans down to you, Agaragis, with its big old face. Again, you're like an M&M to it, and it just nudges you. You know, playfully, just poof, and knocks you down.
You
Are we
close
still
laying
in
on his,
initiative? Okay. No, you go.
you close laying on his back and looks over and he's like, "Do we need to give you two a moment?"
Nice.
We're just gonna look over at Android, kind of point at him, like, the fuck?
Android vomits.
Again.
Proper
Am I free to act?
Yeah, you're free to act.
So Maddox kind of floats over to like as close as I can get to them without being caught up in tentacles or whatever.
Yeah.
And just sort of like looks at it, like tilts his head and just like fascinating.
It's like when he tilts his head to the side like that, does Crow mimic his movement? Like both of you are just kind of looking at it like, what is going on here?
No, Crow just kind of gives it a glance and then just like is just looking elsewhere. Crow's priorities are different.
No, right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's like playfully like messing with you, Agaragis. Like its big old tongue comes out and it licks you. Like you are now sufficiently bathed. Like your whole body is just drenched from that one thing, and it's just like it finally tilts its head back and goes, and one of its tentacles come down and wrap around you, Agaragis, and pick you up and set it on its back, and it turns around and goes running towards the tunnel.
Oh well.
Oh no.
I mean, it just boom, just takes off past everybody.
How close is everyone at this point?
You went over to stay away from it, so you got probably about like, I don't know, about 30 feet away from it. Zoltan, I'm guessing, didn't move nearly as far away, so he was probably about like 10, 20 feet away from it. Yeah, that's
I'm like next to them. Is everyone 30 feet?
No, Uquill, Ruckus are probably, Uquill and Ruckus are probably about like 40 to 50 feet away from it now.
I tried.
And and Solar is an extra 10, so he's like 55 feet away from it because he flew through its legs.
Put it.
Android and Otis are probably about like 15 feet away from it because they were the closest to.
Okay, wait, put it this way: if it independent of me, is everyone else 30 feet? Is everyone else about 30 feet away from each other, or no?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, I won't bother then. It's all good.
Okay. And Agaragis, you're now one with it, basically. You're just riding on this massive creature's back now as it goes charging down the tunnel with you.
Can I follow it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whistle at Ruckus and have him follow me.
Ruckus just nods at you and he just like yells out, "Battle!" And just his tendrils kind of whip around for a minute and he goes charging after it as well. What is everyone else doing?
Yeah, Bill.
Bill.
I guess I'm summoning Cassius.
So you pull out your book and The medallion glows for a minute, and Cassius appears. He is your celestial griffin, and he's just kind of looking around, and he kind of yawns for a minute and stretches and looks at you and says, "Oh, hey, Otis." And then he looks around and he goes, "Huh, I don't like this place."
Yeah, I don't either. We need to go that way, and points towards the tunnel that the creature in the Garrigus went down.
He says, one more time. Explain that again.
Otis points down the tunnel that the creature in the Garrigus went down and said we need to go that way now.
Says, "Oh, I see. Okay, hop on."
And Duck's casually floating in like just you guys' general direction, and he just asks, "Why do we need to follow them? Now that this is over, can we just speak?"
Otis looks at Mind Duck, says nope, and climbs on Cassius and takes off.
Takes off. Cassius looks at you, Mind Duck, and then he does a double take, and then he looks over his shoulder at you, Otis, like kind of worried.
Just go.
He's like, "Is that?" He like stutter
We'll
steps
talk
for a
about it
minute,
later.
and he's like, "Oh, okay," and he takes off, flying down the hall after everybody else.
Why always the rushing?
What is Uquill doing?
Picking himself up and just sighing heavily. God, fucking gonna set it on fire.
I intended you all to fight this thing, so.
Right.
Yeah. Yuko just throws a sword back in the sheath, and he's just like, I hate everything. It just slowly starts jogging like, fucking bastards.
Nice. Like he's not like running at a breakneck speed either, is he? He's just jogging.
Yeah, he's
like,
just jogging like you motherfuckers.
You guys could hear Uquill's like armor just clanking as he just goes jogging. You know, it's like if there was a soundtrack to this right now for comedy relief, it would just start playing "Let's Get Physical" as he just starts jogging his way in that direction. Heck yeah, man! Heck yeah.
Now my doctor sort of looks to Android like expectantly, like, do we need to go after them?
Android's gonna be like, well, the mushroom is useful. If you can act in brevity, I'll hear you out quickly, but we do need to go after the mushroom.
Brevity. And then, despite the clear, mix, my doctor says humans, and then sort of just gestures like, lead the way.
Then Android runs after as well, I suppose. I guess, would it be big enough for fucking Solar to mount form, or
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, Solar
That might
is
be asking a lot.
well. Solar's huge too, like the Phantom Fungus, right? But the Phantom Fungus's body is sleek and built for a cave,
Yeah.
right? Solar's got wingspan and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there are parts
I
where
figured
Solar
that.
could go mount form and comfortably sit in there, but certain areas just kind of narrow a little bit, and it, you know what I'm saying? He would probably clip one of his wings eventually. You know?
Yeah, I figured.
And
Running it is.
can my staff's abilities be used on other people? You know, the ones.
Can it do what?
The staff and its abilities be used on other people? The ones that grant things?
Yeah.
I would grant.
Oh, I thought you were
Like,
gonna
I'm
go
sort
for
of
the. Yeah, nothing. Go ahead. Nothing.
Oh no, I'm just gonna fly, like in the sort of direction and grant, like on the way, grant Android and Otis and you, because I kind of assume they're like behind. Fly, which should double their movement speed.
Okay. So you grant.
Otis on Cassius.
Yeah, Otis is flying with Cassius. They took off.
Oh, cool. Okay, they're actually
yeah.
flying.
So, now, I thought you were talking about something else. I didn't realize you were talking
that
about.
can't happen.
Yeah, that
That's fine.
I thought you were talking about the one thing where you pull things.
Nah.
Yeah. I
That would
thought
be
you were about
excessive.
to try and, I was going to be like, what? Oh, yeah. That's going to be funny because they're going to get to that thing and then they're going to realize it's not. Yeah. Anyways, that a whole funny scenario played out in my head there. It was like,
Am I,
here they
That
are.
would be fucking.
It's like, we got to get a Garrigus. Boop, here they are. Now talk to me. Yeah, so I thought, yeah. But yeah, okay.
No. Then yeah, I just stopped flying kind of at Android's pace.
All right, and Android, you begin jogging after. Now, is Android running, or is he kind of jogging like Uquill's jogging, or is he just trying to catch up to Uquill? Like, how is Android going about this?
at the very least, he's trying to catch up to you, Quill, but after that, he's not going to be making a, strenuous effort to just, like,
Yeah,
it's hard enough to keep up down here as it is without being fatigued. He's trying to be conscientious of his surroundings.
right, right.
He's not trying to exhaust himself.
Okay. Well,
it's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah. So you guys
Yeah,
are
running would be really exhausting.
you guys are a ways away behind them. Like at this pace, it's gonna take you guys a minute to catch up to everybody. However, everybody that's flying, Zoltan and Zoltan and Otis on Cassius, you guys are flying. So you're doing a pretty good job at keeping up with this thing. And because Ruckus is just, he's a freaking he's a beast. He's, doing a pretty good job at keeping pace with this thing too, as you guys are chasing this thing down. What is going through Agaragus's mind at this moment? Just out of curiosity.
They're pretty worried about this. They're not sure whether or not to fight it or just kind of like wait until someone saves them,
Yeah. It's running, and every once in a while, like, its head just kind of turns and looks over its shoulder, and you just see, like, you can't see its eyes because it doesn't have any, but you get the distinct impression that it knows you're there, and it'll just smile real big and be like, "Rah!" with its tongue hanging out, and just keep running. And I will let you roll another handle animal for reasons that I will tell you should you succeed on this. Word. Now tell me what's the word or word out.
The word is the bird.
This is unhinged.
What's he say on that episode, The Dentist System, when he's talking to the girl while they're eating pizza? she's like, this is good pizza. And he's like, you're good pizza, or something stupid like that.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Wow.
Garrus. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 27. Yeah. Yeah.
Kill my Pokemon now.
Oh no, we put her temporary modifier in her sheet this time.
Oh, okay. So it is just a solid 23.
23.
Oh, well, that's a big fat fail then. No, I'm just kidding. No, Agaricus, like I said, every once in a while it'll do that, look over its shoulder at you, and it'll make the same noise every time. And then smile real big. And the more you hear it, the more you realize it's telling you something. It's talking to you. And you remember how it was talking to you when you were connected to it, and it's calling you mama. Like, the more it does it, the more you realize it's calling you mama. It'll look over its shoulder at you. Its freaking tendrils are just like, like, they're not surrounding you, they're not engulfing you, they're just kind of sitting, like, laying around you to kind of like shield you as it runs, to make sure you don't accidentally go like falling off its back. And it's just, what do you do? How does this make you feel?
Agaricus doesn't necessarily like this, but it is like, at least it seems like I'm not in any immediate danger, so it just kind of pats it on the head to make it feel, I guess, happy.
It's like, and it starts like talking to you again in its broken language. It's like, and as it's talking, it's like looking over its shoulder at you, and then all of a sudden you just hear something go, and then you smell like a sizzling. And the thing just comes to like such an abrupt stop that you fall forward and slap against the back of its head. Like, boom. And use the back of its head to like brace yourself from falling completely over. And all its tendrils just kind of stiffen for a minute and then fall down to its sides like a wilted flower. And when you push off the back of its head, its whole head just falls off. And the body just crumbles to the ground. I'm going to need you to roll a ride check.
Why you gotta do it like that, man?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be here.
I'm gonna move my mood ring to my dex.
Alrighty.
Back at it again with the 10s.
Now, is that included with that, or do I need to add the 4 myself?
Yeah.
That's included?
Yes.
Oh, good grief. Okay, so it goes falling down, and you try to hold on for dear life, but you just find yourself rolling off this thing's back as it crashes to the ground with like a saddening thud, Even though you didn't know Mr. Phantom very long, you were just kind of like, oh, and you just hit the ground. Go ahead and roll me a tumble real quick as you go rolling off this thing's back. That will determine quite a bit. Okay, so you hit and you manage to roll yourself like a little barrel, not sideways but forwards. You just kind of somersault forward, and you manage to like land on your butt and stop yourself just short of this large what looks like the thing of nightmares to you. And as long as you've been down here, you've never heard of this at all. You've never heard anybody tell tale of it. You have no reference of it. Its very description you don't know, and believe me, if anybody had ever talked about this thing, you'd know. It is undeniably. Hold on a second. Anyway, sorry about that. it is undeniable what this, that this thing is. It is unforgettable, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Standing before you is a very large, pussy green, like bloated creature with like a mouth that is open so wide it doesn't even seem like it has a jaw. The only thing that it seems like it has is just the top half of its face, with sharp teeth and bulging green, like amphibious looking eyes. But on its stomach is an oval shaped maw. An oval shaped maw, just full of teeth all the way around the oval. And it is literally like constantly dripping ooze, as if it's drooling constantly, this like viscous ooze. And if you look deep into the maw, all you can see is bones of the things it's devoured. But that's not the worst part. As you stare deeper into its actual mouth, where the jaw is missing, it looks like there's a face in there, like a humanoid face of some sort. Something that you cannot. It is undeniable. You have no reference of this thing whatsoever, or exactly just what pit of the 9 hells or the abyss it came from. Before we get into the rest of that, let's jump back again to Android, Uquill, and Mindoc, as you guys are trying to run to catch up to everybody, because you guys are a considerable amount of time behind everyone anyways, right? Is any words exchanged between anyone while you guys are just kind of, because again, Mindoc said he was running to keep pace with all of you, with you two in particular, but
Bob's and
Well, with it just seems are they still within our like sight? And actually, how is the vision down here with like only low light vision?
Well, how far is your low light vision? How far out is?
I don't know. Hang on, let me look. Stats.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Uquill is practically blind down here. You and Android
It just says
have
twice as far as a human in low light.
Well, it should be in the actual book. Like, so let's see here.
What is a human?
Well, no. Just go to Elf on the
Okay.
in the player's handbook.
Oh no, that's just what it says.
It'll tell you. It should give you like some kind of number, shouldn't it?
Ideally, theoretically.
Well, Android, what is your low light vision? Because I know you've got a number there.
Yeah.
Let me see. Can't remember where it's at on the freaking character sheet. Probably in my racial. Slow light vision, 60 feet for Android.
So it'll be the same for Mindoc too. Just out of sake of curiosity too, Zoltan, earlier you said you threw that rod at that sun rod at the phantom fungus, right? Because that's what disturbed it in the first place. Yeah, so okay, so you guys go running away, and all that's left of that scene is just this rod hovering in the air. Like, it, not even hovering, like it doesn't look like it's floating. It looks like it's just stationary, just hanging out in the air, just glowing continuously. And so the further away you get away from that, and the reason why I bring that up is because the further you guys get away from that, the worse your eyesight becomes, Uquill. You know? I think you're seeing like, what, 20 feet in front of you now at any given time?
Roughly.
Yeah. As for Android and Mindoc, Those other guys were moving so fast. They're like way ahead of you. Like you can't see them into the darkness, but you can see far. You can see far enough along that you know you're not like about to like bump into something or accidentally go jumping off a cliff or something like that. Like it's a safe amount of distance you can see ahead of you. You know what I mean? It's like it's the principle of like driving on a dark road with just your low beams on.
I'll have taken a second to cause dark vision, if that's the case, which is just to 60 feet, but better than low light.
Okay.
And otherwise, my dog, like while they're running, or I mean, I guess Android is running and it's sort of floating along. Without really turning to look at him, so what do you endeavor to do once we actually catch up to this thing? Do we kill it?
If we have to. I mean, it seemed pacified in some sense. If we can extract Agaricus without having to kill it, then great. But if the act of taking Agaricus away from it pisses it off, then, I mean, I guess we have no choice.
Oh, so when you said mushroom, you meant the little one.
Yes.
I see. That's a bit easier. Let's just get this over with. And you know what? Actually, fuck it. Yeah, I think that's... No, I mean... Yeah, we'll just see how long it takes to catch up for now.
Okay. Because Otis, Zoltan, and Ruckus were following at a pretty good pace. You guys... Agaricus is only sitting there staring at this thing for like a few seconds before you guys come running up. And Zoltan, you can kind of see this thing at a distance and you're like, now what is that? And you see like the crumbled body of the freaking phantom fungus now with its giant head just laying off to the side of this. And it's a pretty wide space that you guys are standing in now, you know? Wide enough that like you won't have to climb over the phantom fungus to get to Agaricus and whatever this thing is. But the closer you get to it, Zoltan, the more it begins to disturb you a little bit. Because even though you have lived down here for a considerable amount of time, you have yet to have heard about anything like this before. You know, this is something that is completely alien to you. Eventually, Otis, as you draw closer, it begins to come into view for you as well. And you see this monstrosity, this abomination of life standing, you know, moving before you. Or standing before you. Otis, roll me a knowledge of religion. Okay, that's pretty good. Your teachings of Obot High and life, the god of life and everything, it has taught you how to identify undead, the undead scourge. And this thing is just that. It is an undead abomination that should not be walking. You know? You feel a want. You know, you feel this like compulsion to smite its ruin upon the mountainside. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect you or hinder you or in any way. I'm just saying, like, this is the, this thing represents everything that you're against, everything that you've been taught. It is the epitome of what Obot High despises. And instead of me just saying you feel that compulsion and everything, how does Otis feel about this? Like, what is Otis's real thoughts on this thing as you see this, monstrosity?
Anger.
He does what?
He just feels anger.
Anger? Anger. Yes. I'm gonna need Agargus, Zoltan, and Otis. What is your I'm gonna need your guys's initiatives one more time. Agaragus's was 4. Otis, yours was 2, right?
Yep.
And then Zoltan's is 2. Okay, so that's 16. Okay. Here, I'll just roll it because it'll be easier if I just roll that. Roll it for you guys, but I'll make it to where it's visible on the chat so you guys can see what you get for your initiative. So you guys got a 35. Okay, you guys beat it. You edged it out. Yeah, so you guys are now locked in combat with this thing. It's gonna go... Ooh, but it does get to move and attack this round. So, Zoltan, Agaragus, and Otis, what are your guys' movements?
I'm ready to cast something.
Same question mark.
You're gonna do what?
Oh, should I have added I forgot to add Ruckus's initiative.
No, Ruckus's initiative is your initiative. The only time Ruckus's initiative would come into play is if you're not around. He moves on your turn.
Alright. Never mind then.
That keeps everything that just keeps everything from becoming what do you call it? Ridiculous. So Otis, you said you're beginning to cast something?
Yep.
Okay, is it an attack spell or something of that nature?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You could just tell me what you're doing. That
I'm
way
going to cast Turn Undead.
Oh, okay. You're going for a turn check? Okay, so we will handle that on the attack round, as it is kind of an attack. Yeah, so you're not gonna move at all. You're just gonna try and turn him from right here. Okay. So you guys are probably about like 30 feet. Well, about 40 feet at this point. Agaragus, you are probably, what I say, you landed about like 15 feet away from him before stopping.
Yeah.
So what does Agaragus do? What is their movement?
Can I take a few steps back? Like away from him, and then kind of get ready to I want to use my buckler on somebody, but
can I have Ruckus move up to in front of Agaragus?
Sure. And Agaragus's Ruckus's movement is what, 40 feet you said?
Yeah.
All right, so Ruckus would get up there and get in front of Agargus, no problem. So I just imagine Ruckus just running up and jumping over Agaragus's head and just landing in front of them with his tendrils just kind of whipping around. Just
I let Ruckus fight.
Yeah, Ruckus, you fight that thing. I'm gonna hang out.
I'm gonna just sit back. Ruckus wanted to fight him. I let him fight.
Yeah. So you're not gonna move. You're gonna move Ruckus, but you're gonna stay stationary.
Yeah. I'll move up 10 feet. I'll try to get near Agaragos.
Okay. So you move up about 10 feet. Okay. It watches all of you do this, like start moving and getting into battle formations, and it, oddly enough, it looks over at you, Otis, and you can see like those big eyes on its head. I mean, they just look completely dead. You know, it's the face in its mouth that is the thing that disturbs you the most, because it's what looks at you with recognition. It looks at you like it's identified that you are, you know, some kind of cleric or something, you know, like you're, you know, it looks at you knowingly, and you can't help but know, which, to say the least, however you want to handle this, you've never seen an undead do this before. You've never seen an undead with that kind of acknowledgement, this level of intelligence in its eyes, I should say. There are intelligent undead, you are aware of that, but there's something different about this one. And with that bit of knowledge, it chooses, instead of to come forward, it takes a few steps back, just kind of lumbers its large body backwards. And then kind of crouches down as its, you know, the maw on its stomach widens and opens up, and it doesn't open vertically, it opens horizontally, as if it stretches out, gaping open. And the teeth are just, you hear them scraping across the bones in its stomach, and some of the bones, because it's opening the hole, just spill out onto the ground. Clunk, 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 clunk. Bones of all sorts of different kinds. Some that look humanoid, some that look like animal. One of them is very small, as if it was a child. And it raises its hands out to either side of it and spreads its fingers with its gnarly looking talons, as if it's preparing itself for a fight. All right, we go in. It stepped probably about 25 feet away from where Ruckus is. Ruckus was probably about 10 feet away from it, because Agaragos was 15. It chose to step about 25 feet away from Ruckus now. Take a few steps back, get it some room. Okay.
Otis is going to yell at everyone to wait.
So Otis, you're going for your turn check, right? Now we've had in the past, we've had oh, I'm sorry, what?
Well, instead of casting it, he's going to kind of lower his hands and just kind of stare at the thing and yell at everyone else to wait.
All right. Okay, so Zoltan, are you gonna wait, right?
Wait until to see what Otis does.
Okay. I'm gonna say Ruckus hears that, but he looks over his shoulder at you, Zoltan, to get confirmation if he should or not.
Yeah, I put my hand up to let him know.
he kind of goes, and then like kind of jerks his head back in the thing's motion, you know, in the thing's direction. Just feeling kind of antsy. What does Agaragis do when Zoltan or when Otis says wait?
He nods his head, but he sends his buffer shield onto Ruckus.
Cool. So Ruckus just sees this like your shield glows for a minute and projects itself out, and Ruckus just notices this like shell form over his body for a minute, this translucent shell. It's whoom, and then it's gone. He's just kind of looking around like, what in the Nine Hills was that? All right, Otis. So, yeah.
Is there something I can roll to see if I can gather more information on this thing?
Yeah. You can roll. What are all the numbers precisely? I'll go ahead and roll just a religion check again. Okay, 26. So you you begin to kind of flip through all the lessons in the occult that you have ever learned. You know? And you're like, you know, kind of thinking really hard, trying to remember, you know, man, those classes were so boring though. And you rack your brain until you remember the one class that really kind of gripped your attention about the occult were the different kinds of undead and how they were categorized and things like that. This thing, judging from what you've seen of it and what you're trying to remember, you're like, I don't remember anything about like a gaping maw in its gut, or, you know, the way that thing looks per se. But you do recollect that it's the human face, it's the humanoid face inside its mouth that like strikes a chord with you. Remember that there's this thing called a devourer. It's a particularly intelligent undead, because what in essence it is and then you're like, what is it? What is it? And your mind goes kind of blank. You're trying to remember, but you can't entirely remember. I'll let you try for your turn check and everything else, but you don't get to roll another skill. You know what I'm saying?
Or
you can attack, you can do a turn, you know, you can cast magic that's attack magic or defensive magic, or go for a turn check. But on the attack deal, I allow like one kind of like skill like that, of that nature. I'll let you do like all the tumbles and stuff you want on the attack round, but well, no, not even that really. Well, it depends on how you use it.
Did the turn check, nat 1.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that, okay, so yeah, well, a 1, okay, but however, on a turn check, because I gotta look at my table here. So the results for a turn check when you roll 1 through 3, your turning level is a -3. So that's not gonna help with the hit dice. Well, that's what you're gonna yeah. So turning on the turntable is high enough that you turn some of the targets within range. Yep. Yep. No. You try to turn it, but this thing has got you shook, considerably shook. And you're having trouble, like, you're kind of fumbling your prayer. You know what I'm saying? Your exorcism isn't working too well. You know, like you're kind of forgetting words, and you're having a hard time, like you're trying to grab your wooden emblem of Obot High, and it's kind of fumbling around in your hand for a minute, and you're like, oh, for crying out loud, and you're trying to like get it, and yeah, it's just not working for you at the moment. So Zoltan, you can see that Otis is clearly having trouble doing whatever he's trying to do. What would you like to do, attack-wise?
Yell at him and ask if it's fine to attack now.
Otis just shrugs. Like, I guess.
With that, I'm gonna cast Binding Winds.
Binding Winds. Okay, I don't remember what that is.
It has a reflex save. It negates, and it has spell resistance.
It's a spell. Binding Winds. Is it Binding Winds or Binding Wounds?
Binding Winds.
Why am I not finding it?
It's in the Complete Divine.
Okay. You said it's got a save for what, and it says it has spell resistance.
See.
So what does it do exactly?
I create a flurry of air to encircle and hold your target. The binding winds do not move. Instead, they become a physical barrier surrounding the subjects. The subject may act normally, but she cannot move from her current location. The winds carry her voice away, so she can speak, but cannot be heard.
So it's just kind of like a hold monster type of thing.
Yeah, ranged attacks made in or out of binding winds suffer -2 penalty. Binding winds hold flying creatures mid-air.
So it's a hold. It's not a paralysis. It's not a does it say anything about paralysis or stunning?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna roll his reflex. Let's see. Does have spell. Let me check something about the spell resistance real quick. Oh, okay. I see. This might not work, my dude. Check one more thing. Because of its spell resistance. Because you said spell resistance, if the thing has spell resistance to apply it, right, is what it's telling you.
It says spell resistance, and then beside it says yes.
Right. All right, so it's basically your binding winds wrap around its body and hold it, right? It's a spell that targets its body to hold it in place.
To entice it and hold your target, correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so you cast binding winds on it and the winds form around it and like kind of lasso around it, making like a tight barrier, and it actually sucks it together for a minute and holds it in place, and then it looks at you with those dead big old yellow eyes, and then its mouth opens even wider to reveal the humanoid face in there, and now you realize that the humanoid face has like he's got no lips, just a long large wide elongated mouth full of teeth, and it opens up and laughs. It goes ha 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 ha, and it boom breaks the spell from its grasp, and it gets down again ready to attack. Yeah. Spell resistance fought that pretty hard. Agargus, what do you do?
Agaricus is gonna use Spore Burst.
Spore burst on it? Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so you just haul back and spore burst him. Well, that's an automatic 9d6. So go ahead and roll 9d6 and we'll give him that damage. Uh, 39 points of damage. So you like with one hand you got the buckler activated, and with the other you just throw out the achoo and blast him with the spore burst. It takes that shot and it's not happy about it. It takes that 39 points of damage. Just, and you watch its fingers kind of click, and you can hear bones breaking inside of its fingers and then realigning. It's just like as it now looks in your direction. Yeah, as it now looks in your direction, Agaricus. What would you like to do with Ruckus, Zoltan?
How far away is he?
See, he was 10 feet away, and he took 25 feet away so far. So that's 2. He's like 35 feet away from him.
I want to use Ruckus and use his displacement, so that's gonna give him 30 speed.
Okay. All right, that gives who 30 speed, the enemy or Ruckus?
Ruckus. When he uses displacement, he gets 30 speed.
Okay. It gives like the enemy like a mischance on him too, doesn't it?
Yeah, 50% missing.
Okay. All right, so it just looks like Ruckus just starts to shake, like vibrate, and it just creates like images of himself. Just just going around, and it like you just cannot tell like where Ruckus is going or where he is now. Is that what you're gonna do with him this round?
Yeah.
Okay. Otis, I will ask, is there anything you want Cassius to do? Or do you want him to just hold you in place where you are right now?
Just hold.
Hold! Alright. It's the thing's turn. So because he moved, he's only gonna get to do like one attack. And he looks, his eyes scan, and he still identifies you, Otis, as the bigger threat. You're somebody who's trying to turn him, and you are on top of a celestial griffin. And for whatever reason that you cannot figure out, it is fully aware of this. It's almost like it knows your power, kind of. And he points all 4 of his fingers at you and blasts magic missile.
Oh boy.
Gosh, Oh, okay.
What is... I have too many spells in different books. I should have organized these better.
For 30 points of damage, Otis.
Ow.
Yeah.
That sounded painful.
Yeah. I mean, he just blasts you right when you're on top of a deal. Now I'm going to need you to roll a will save. Okay, so you pass that. So you get blasted with those magic missiles, and your armor manages to negate a lot of that. You know, this is the champion armor. You know, you're like, oh, but for a minute there, you feel yourself kind of tense up, and you can feel necrotic damage trying to creep into your veins. And you focus. What does Otis focus on that expels this disease from his body, this abomination, this detestable, blasphemy? What is it that he focuses on that allows him to disperse it from himself?
The fact he refuses to go down by something looking like that.
So you focus on that, like, now it's not the time, and your veins turn black for a minute, and then they soften back up, and you're like, no, and you just kind of, and you puke for a minute, and some black stuff comes out, and you wipe your mouth, like, not today, son, not today. And the head inside the mouth looks in your direction and nods, like, impressive. It's about this time that Android, Uquill, and Mindoc show up with Solar and Crow. You guys come running up to this. You can, even at a distance, now, you guys can see this kind of going on. It's starting to make itself known. Now, Uquill, again, your vision is pretty impaired right now, but the second like the magic starts going off and things like that, like the second it blasts the magic missile, it lights up that whole area and you see everything perfectly. What you guys see is the massive dead body of the phantom fungus and its head lying off to the side, and you can see this abomination before you, standing there attacking everyone with Agargus and Ruckus up in the front. Zoltan's kind of flying off to the side, and you guys see Otis get blasted with like 4 magic missiles and almost fall off Cassius. And you come running up. As you guys come running up, because we are going again into the move round. What does everybody do now for their movements?
For one, can I try and identify what the fuck this is?
Oh my gosh. You guys are gonna get a whole free round on this dude. He just rolled a 1. Yeah.
Nine.
Yeah, so he's not gonna move. He's not gonna. I'm just gonna justify it that he wasn't expecting you 3 to come. You know, technically you 5 to come rolling up on him like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take him completely off guard.
Makes sense.
Yes. Mindoc, you can roll a knowledge of Arcana.
Okay. Could you actually roll that for me? I'm away from my computer right now. But...
Oh, sure. While I'm at it, why don't I just play the game and make your decision? No, I'm just kidding.
That wasn't passive aggressive at all.
It's great.
No. Oh, that wasn't a real like jerk move or anything. Like I just.
Well, while you're doing that, Otis is just gonna stay in place and prepare to cast Turn Undead again.
Okay. Sounds good.
Would-
Sounds good.
I don't know.
Okay, Mindoc, you rolled a 30. You rolled a 35. So, you identify it as a magical undead of some sort, right? I will allow you to roll a spellcraft to kind of discern that magic, or you can use like a spell of some sort, like an identify or you know what I'm saying? Something like that. You can
well,
do
spell would be
something
more
like
of
that.
an action, right?
Well, this is like a utility spell, so I allow that to happen on move rounds because it's not an actual attack. I don't want to penalize you for using utility on an attack round, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha. I think analyze Dwemer or whatever the fuck should do it. It's shit. Hang on. I can get back to my computer in a second, but for now,
Okay, well just hold
you
that
can see it in
thought.
my spell list.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
when I
just
was
hold
actually-
that
that's
thought
more
when you
intelligent.
come back and because Android was going to ask a question anyways. What was your question, Android? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just thinking about something for a second. I was going to do something, but I didn't want to go half-cocked, so I was reading up real quick, so I just shut up.
I see. You're like, ooh, hold on.
If I rolled a spot, would I be able to detect, or like a sense motive or something at Otis? Would I be able to just kind of intuit that he's getting ready to turn undead at this thing?
Yeah, just roll a, yeah. I'll tell you what, roll a sense motive. I'm not going to even have you roll a spot for it. Know where he's at. It's not like he's hidden. Roll a sense motive.
May I ask how big this creature is?
He's large. So he's like 7 to 8 feet tall.
Dang.
Okay.
My bad. He's like 9 to 12 feet.
Let's see.
You can actually make playable characters that are like 7 feet tall, and you don't count as large. That's why I bring.
What is?
Wow, Android, you just rolling them bones tonight. Yeah, you look over at Otis and you see that even though he's been damaged, his resolve is not broken, and he is beginning his prayers. He is going to clutch at his symbol. He is preparing to turn undead. You're gonna try and crawling head this sucker, aren't you?
Yeah, Android's gonna rush to his side. Or, well, he's technically in the air, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get near him.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it close by him, and I'm gonna try and assist him in my own turn undead.
Okay, now I know we have struggled with the rules about turning in the past, but I have been reading up on them in the rules compendium, so I know how this will work, you know, to combine it. Because I like the idea of you guys combining it. You know what I mean? I just know what you guys will have to for sure roll this time. So it'll work a little different than the last time, but it's still very doable. Like, you still have a good chance of pulling this off. Feel me? Like the way you're gonna assist Otis in things and yada yada yada. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be mighty salty. I know I'm gonna feel a little salty if you guys just kill this thing in one shot. I'm gonna be like, are you kidding me? This thing is an animal. You guys already tamed my freaking phantom fungus. I'm done with y'all.
I was thinking about trying to do that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, I don't know yet.
All right, what does Uquill do as he comes running up and sees this monstrosity now?
So there's that thing and what it spit out.
It's not. I'm gonna say you don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, is that the other thing look, for the lack of a better term, living?
No, it doesn't.
So it just spit something out, and I was just like, there's a mass on the ground next to this frog creature.
Are you talking about? Okay, so are you talking about the phantom fungus or the devourer?
The devourer. You said it spit something out.
Oh, earlier it went, its maw opened up and bones came falling out of its maw, just like
Okay,
dead
so it's-
bones.
okay.
Yeah, so it's not really. That was just flavor text, but it did shoot Otis with 4 magic missiles. So you saw that happen. So you know for a fact that this thing is capable of producing magic. And being where being from where you are, and knowing plenty of practitioners of necromancy, you know what I'm saying? In the country of Andes Dulai, who, you know, are in the employ of the Damvir and all that, you know that this is the real deal, because necromancy and applying magic capabilities to such a thing would there in turn mean that this thing is intelligent. It has a level of intelligence that rivals something like a wight. You know, wights are pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? You could tell a wight to mop the floor and it'll know what a mop is. This thing, the fact that it's even capable of doing magic, means it has an intellect. You know?
Uquill. You know what? No, we're gonna go straight power aura.
Uquill's going Super Saiyan, y'all. You guys just watch as this aura just bursts around his body. The power aura as his skin begins to glow.
He's fucking eating in. He's like, oh hell no! And he's charging. Full reckless abandon at this motherfucker's like, nope.
So
yes.
Well, what I'm gonna say is, what I'm gonna say is to this one thing though, Ruckus and Agargus are directly in front of it, right? You do have to, in order to charge in a straight line. I will allow you to do something though. I will allow you on the move action to charge it and then jump and see if you can like jump over Ruckus and Agargus
Like
to yeah, and then on your next move, like, you know, you can roll your attack. See what I'm saying? As you come down on that thing.
All right. Yeah.
You'll just have to roll a successful jump. That's all. I'm thinking like my Spartacus, blood and sand right now. I'm in my Spartacus blood and sand era right now, y'all.
All right, so yeah, Yuko's just gonna he's gonna run and go to jump over these motherfuckers. Thankfully, neither one of them is overly tall.
I'm gonna high five him as he runs by and bless him with the smite evil.
Nice! Nice!
I don't know that that's how that works, but
We'll allow it because that sounded good.
Can you transfer it? Are you allowed to transfer your smite evil? Can you lay on hands and do it? Huh?
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's how it works in the rules, but I can read it real quick.
Yeah, read it. My brain doesn't work with me.
What's that say? Is that a 7?
Yeah. It is 22 is my jump.
Oh, shoot. Nice.
Yeah, my jump is automatically 15. Gotta love strength. And that's... Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like a blessed thing.
Oh, that sucks. You know what? On this one time, I'll let you do it. Just because I liked it so much, I'm gonna break the rules and just be like, nah, that's too cool. Corlon Lorethian sees what you are trying to do, and he sees that it is good, and he says, I will allow you to break the rules of D&D this one time.
That's metal.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says. He's like, metal. What is Mind Doc doing at the moment?
Alright, so as my sort of move action thing, I will do Greater Arcane Sight, which is I can see all magical auras in an area, and because it's greater, I automatically know which spells or magical effects are active upon any individual object.
Okay.
I see. So, what I'm looking for especially is the motherfucker spell resistant, to a notable degree, and is there any other effects I should look out for?
He is very spell resistant.
Son of a bitch.
He is very, very spell resistant.
Now, I kind of vaguely know what the
anything
Otis and
anything that
and
attacks the body or the mind, spell resistant instantly kicks in and negates.
And does that include what? Just knowing about different sorts of magic, would that include whatever Otis and Android are doing, like just divine kind of magic?
No. Turning is a specific thing that happens to the undead. It is something. Yeah, it is something that is completely different thing. They have to roll a certain number in order to even match its hit die, and if they match its hit die on that first roll, then they will get to roll the damage, and if the damage doesn't instantly kill it, it will make it flee. Is what happens.
I see.
And then depending on how high their roll is when they first roll, depending on let's say you have a bunch of creatures that are just 2 hit die and they roll a 15, right? That means if they've got three undead creatures who only got 2 hit die, well, that's 2, 4, 6. That means they can hit all 3 with that turn, and then they can roll that damage, and there's a strong possibility that damage will be higher than all of their HP, meaning it'll kill all 3 of them. See what I'm saying? Yeah, turn undead, divine stuff is way it works on a different level when it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's god bending,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I guess as a contingency on that as well.
Yeah, it is when you cast that, you notice that it is very spell resistant. It looks like it's got a shell made out of chaos and necrotic magic. It's like a mixture of this purple and black shadow just completely engulfing it, and it is notable. You know what I mean?
How close is the closest person to it again?
Well, it's about to be Uquill. But
okay.
at this point right now,
Like
it's
right on it.
It's but at the moment,
Yeah, okay,
it's
well,
just
no.
Ruckus and Agaragis and
As funny as that would be, no. Okay,
Ruckus is
cool.
what,
I'm just
30
wondering.
feet, and so that would make Agaragis 35 feet.
Then I'm just gonna follow up with a spell vulnerability, which is a fortitude save on its part, and if failed, reduces the spell resistance by 1 per caster level, which is 15 maximum. So it would reduce its spell resistance by 15 if it failed.
Okay, and you're doing what to it? It's got to roll a fortitude, you said?
Yeah, fortitude against, I guess, the spell DC, which would be, in this case, unfortunately, only 20.
I'm just checking something to see if like immunity to any effect that requires a fortitude save.
Really?
Yep.
I'm guessing there's no way. Well, yeah, there's no way. Would Maddox know that through the magic, like analyzing, or is that like non-magical?
It's undead.
Is there something? Because I didn't know this shit. Is there something I can roll to see if Feindock would have learned before trying?
I would say that Mindoc off the top of his head wouldn't know unless he's got. I will to save you the spell because we've still got a long way to go. To save you the spell, yes, we do.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Oh, you guys don't even know. You don't even know. To save you the spell for now, right? I will let you roll a knowledge of Arcana on this thing.
Oh.
Arcana. Oh god, I suck at that.
Yeah. Clutching your
44.
pearls. Yeah, it's so you, before you begin to cast the spell, like you identify that thing, right? You're like, golly, it's spell resistant AF, you know? And then you get to like, so you study it for a minute and you realize it's undead. It's some kind of undead abomination. This is a monstrosity. Whoever built this is an artist. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's on point.
Yeah, like that's on point. All right. Yeah, like the craftsmanship. But you know that, okay, that's not going to work because the freaking undead don't have fortitude to speak of. You know what I'm saying? You now know that like it's not. I will tell you. I will just give you a quick rundown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of things. Immunity to any effect that requires fortitude save. That doesn't matter. Not affected by raise dead or reincarnate, resurrection or true resurrection, doesn't matter. You guys can't use that stuff. What else was there though? There was something else that I needed to Oh, immunity to all mind affecting effects, charms, compulsions, phantasms, patterns, and moral effects. Immunity to poison, sleep effects, paralysis, stunning, disease, and death effects. Not subject to critical hits. Non-lethal damage, ability drain, or energy drain. Now that, as well as fatigue and exhaustion. Now, something that I did though was I took away my undead do not have damage reduction. In other words, any weapon can take it down. See what I'm saying?
Okay, and one more thing. Is it possessing of weapons and or like natural weapons that I can see, and are they magical?
It has claws and
Magical?
No, they're not. Other than just
Alright, then we're gonna do the probably stupid thing, which is I'm going to assume ghost form and basically become, well, like a phantom.
Okay.
And in mirroring session 1, charge the thing.
Oh, you're gonna try and fight it too? Okay, cool. All right. So you're going to you're gonna fly at it though? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mind Doc, like, you guys just watch as Mind Doc turns himself into like that of a ghost and begins to like fly in its direction, kind of following Uquil's lead. So now you have Mind Doc and Uquil both charging this thing, dead ass reckless. What is Zoltan doing?
Zoltan is reading a spell right now. Zoltan just randomly puts on spells and just says, "Yep, that'll do."
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about that spell resistance, right? It is resistant to anything that affects the mind and the body, but it's not resistant. Well, I can't tell you that because you haven't researched it.
I don't know that, Cut.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna ask you.
You know that it's your one spell didn't work, huh?
What does Storm Tower do?
Storm what?
Tower.
Storm Tower? Jesus,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a spell?
Yeah.
Most days of the week.
Storm Tower. Do. Druid round. Radius fortitude negates. Okay, so. Storm Tower absorbs any electricity damage dealt to those within it. Magic missiles cannot be cast into it. Out of or within a storm tower. So anything electrical cannot hit it. The storm tower is composed of windstorm strength winds, making ranged attacks impossible within it, though it has no effect on the movement of the creature within it. However, only gargantuan or colossal creatures can pass through the outer edge of the storm tower. All creatures of smaller size must succeed a fortitude save throw to enter, otherwise they are checked at the edge. Anyone within a storm tower has concealment relative to those outside the tower. The howling winds of a storm tower also apply a -10 penalty on listen checks made within 50 feet of it. So that's what that does. It stops it stops ranged attacks getting at you, plus electrical energy. So like things like a magic missile won't be able to get at who's ever within the storm tower.
If I was to throw that on Otis, that wouldn't be bad. Or would that be bad?
It would be, because he's about to try and cast a turning, and if you throw that on him now, you're gonna hinder his sight. Creatures, yeah. Making ranged attacks impossible within.
That's boring.
All creatures, otherwise they are, yeah. Anyone within the storm tower has concealment relative to those outside the tower. It puts a -10 penalty on listen checks, but it says it makes ranged attacks, and that, in essence, what a turn check is. He must have a clear line of sight of the enemy.
So that takes that down. If that wasn't gonna work, I was gonna do something else. Alrighty.
I will let you roll a knowledge of a sort to kind of discern what this thing's strengths and weaknesses are as well, if you would like.
What would I have to roll for that?
Well, what knowledges do you have that could apply to this, I wonder? I'm not sure. I'm not saying that like to be a smart aleck. I really just don't know, so I wouldn't.
The best one I have is nature. That's the only one I have.
That's the only knowledge you have?
Yeah, that has anything in it.
Yeah, that's not gonna help you on this one. That's not gonna help you out. That's not gonna help you out. Yeah. You could. I will let you roll a straight up intelligence check to see if you can't figure something out. You have a knowledge of well, yeah. Even if you did, you said you don't have nothing in it. So I'll let you roll a straight up intelligence check to see if you cannot try and figure something. No, you don't. This thing has kind of got you shook a little bit, Zoltan. You're like, I can't do anything to it. What do I do? You know, like, oh, what do I do? Yep.
Wait, I'm stupid. I just assumed, but actually, is my spear tip even magical?
Is the spear tip in of itself magical?
Yeah.
You can cast magic with it. Does that make any sense of what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
so useful then for this particular entity. Okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't really like I said, I don't do the damage reduction on it, right? Like all attacks, like, because typically undead also have like a type of damage reduction where like only like certain weapons will hurt.
No, it's only relevant because I just assume for some reason this feels magical, but I can't actually attack corporeal things if it isn't magical. I have another idea though.
It's straight up magical. It's magical. You can tell it's magical. You can attack it.
No. Like, I mean the actual weapon I'm using needs to be magical. But no, it's fine. It's still a useful form to have taken. But I'm gonna just sort of recorrect things to say like my dog is sort of moving, like it's sort of charging, but his aim is more to like move through it to the other side, to just like flank it.
Oh, to flank it. Nice. Yeah, that'll lower its defenses considerably. What is?
I mean, not necessarily for spellcasting, but the point is just, at least it can't focus on him as much if he's not in front of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, because Uquill's about to straight up attack him, so if you move through him...
Oh, right, that will help.
If you move through him, so you moved... Yeah, so you flew right through him. Like, Uquill, the reason why Uquill's held up on his action is because his movement also involves an attack, so he won't get to see that all the way through until we go to the attack round. You actually just move right through him and then end up behind him, flanking him, And like I said,
I'll stay in melee range for that.
You guys are getting a free shot on him right now.
Right.
To do this, so to do everything that you guys are going to do to him. So yeah.
This is going to be...
Oh, a question.
Yes.
You know what's going to follow or precede the attack.
Oh shit, no.
Uquill does what he always does when he's... Well, he's going to strike the fear of a life? No. This is Torchbog.
Cool.
He's going to, since he's undead, he's going to strike the fear of the living in this creature.
You're gonna try and intimidate it?
Yes, always. I intimidate everything. There can be a frog. I'm gonna piss at it in an intimidating way, my guy.
So you're okay. Well, I mean, you're allowed to play as much D&D as you like.
Yeah. But that's what I was like. Did you do? Well, I used up quite a few actions on my movement phase. I didn't know if you want me to do it now or save it for when my attack.
Because it's going to be a part of your attack, I will allow you to try it as soon as you're done with your attack. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I won't penalize you for that type of stuff.
Okay. Roger that.
Certain things we can kind of make the rules a little malleable for. You know what I mean? It's like technically like a tumble is technically a move action technically, but it's like that time that Zoltan went rolling into the enemy. That was technically a move, but because there was an attack involved in it, I let him do both in the attack round.
Yeah. That's why I was asking, because I didn't know how you wanted that to transpire. And I'm fine. That's why I just wanted to know when I needed to.
Yeah. Just go
declare what I was doing. Yeah.
What is
Roger?
What is Agaragus doing? Oh, don't tell me Agaricus fell out.
Agaricus is dead.
Sorry.
No, okay. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Garricus was moving to go ahead and heal Otis, but can I move my mood ring to wisdom?
Yeah. Go for it.
Alrighty, Capitan. How
Alright.
far away is he from me?
Who?
The abomination.
Oh, he's probably like 60. No, about. Let's see. If Ruckus and them are about 35, 40, 50. So 50.
Loading. Recalculating spline.
What is that?
I don't know.
Assets tab.
Stop it.
I'm
So
dying.
you're probably about like 60 feet away from him. Yeah.
Single tucked.
Zoltan, are you there? What happened? Okay, Agaricus, so you move over to heal Otis, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just play that out, because that's not an attack or anything like that. That is a utility spell that I don't penalize people for using that kind of stuff. Move actions. So
I don't even know how I managed to get it to read the page to me.
I don't know what you gotta like roll for that, or how that works for you. Is that that's like a spore thing, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay.
the sport thing.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Game almost fully healed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
He hit you pretty hard for 20. Wow, that pretty much he hit you for like what, 30 earlier. So yeah.
Yeah, he hit me for 30.
Oh yeah, sure did. Bam, completely. So what does the heal spores look like, Agaricus, when you pull that off?
Kind of like a. I don't know. Hold on.
Looks like dandruff. I get up and I scratch my scalp real hard, and I just drop this.
Ew.
Like in the breakfast.
Yeah.
Gross.
It's almost like you know how like a dog or a cat slobbers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hockaloogie.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Otis, you're sitting there trying to pray for a minute, and you kind of watch Agaricus just kind of lumbering up to you, and they just kind of go and spit this like loogie of spores just right on your face. And your first inclination, I imagine, is to get mad, but then it heals. You suddenly feel the pain that you were feeling from getting hit by the magic missiles begin to subside, and you feel your strength starting to return to you. And you realize, oh man, it's kind of like when Solar hawks his food on my head.
Yeah, let's just say that Otis was just about to swing the rose at Agaricus until it did the healing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time for you, mushroom, and then he's like healed. And yeah, so how does Otis feel about that now? Like at first he was mad, but now how does he feel? Like,
How this plays out from here real quick.
Oh shit. Gross. But thanks.
Why is all of the party's healing capabilities fucking disgusting?
Exceedingly. I think I have.
Not all of them.
Unironically, I think me and Otis
Sage would
have.
notice.
Well, Yuquil has some as well. He's never had to use it. It's normal as well. I
Yeah.
never fucking
Whoa.
use it though.
I was gonna say Otis, Android, and Uquil Theirs kind of look divine. I would say that out of everybody's though, like I think Uquill's probably looks a little bit more metal than everybody else's just because of where it comes from. You know what I mean? But regardless of that, like yeah, Solar's is kind of gross. Solar's is gross. Agaricus is
kind of gross, motherfucker. That's disgusting.
Yeah, Agaricus is gross. Everything Agaricus does is just kind of gross, but it's handy. You know, that's the thing. It's just the way they are. You know, like.
Have I used my like combat action?
We haven't gotten there yet. We have not gotten there yet.
Okay.
We're gonna take that in tow as well. What is Ruckus and Solar doing? Let's get to the familiars, because I imagine I'm not gonna ask about Cassius because I imagine he's just gonna hold. You told him last round, hold. Let me do this.
Still holding.
So we're not gonna worry about that. What is Ruckus and Solar doing?
Ruckus is gonna continue going with this displacement.
Displacement?
Yeah.
Okay. But he's not going to move forward or engage or anything, right? He's just going to remain with the displacement. Okay. What is Solar doing?
Solar's gonna shift into steel form, and he's gonna move in on it as well with Uquill, like following Uquill's lead.
Oh, nice. Solar's downright. Yeah, because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, Solar detests this thing.
Yeah.
Like, he recognizes it for what it is. He doesn't know what exactly it is. He's not that kind of knowledgeable, but he knows it's an undead monstrosity. It's just like, you know, in the name of Corlon Larethian, you don't deserve to even exist, you know? Like, you are... Yeah, so he shifts into his steel form. So basically like a holy holy light of liquid metal just engulfs his body, and when it breaks free, his wings are like this celestial steel. He's got the celestial plate on his chest and everything. Like, he is armored up, and he begins to follow Uquill, just boom, darting in that direction. We will play that out now.
On the note of familiar, like companions of familiars, just to clarify that, like, due to an ability, when I used Ghost Form, it also affected Crow. But yes,
It does affect Crow, or doesn't?
it does.
Okay, yeah, I just
It's-
figured
it's still on my
Crow.
shoulder.
I should ask: Is Crow doing anything though? I don't want to leave Crow out. I'm sorry.
No, just on my shoulder. But my point is just that he too is in
Okay.
Ghost Form. But yeah.
Okay, I'm just not quite used to his presence just yet. I'll do that
Yeah, no.
in remembering.
Neither, evidently. I didn't say anything.
In remembering how he is, yeah. In remembering that, like, he's there. He exists. Crow is a person too. Yeah.
Lives matter.
Pro lives matter. Oh my goodness. You can't say that. No, but all right. We got 30 minutes left, so we're gonna rock this out. Y'all ready? Uquill,
Yeah.
go ahead. You passed your jump. You go ahead and roll that beautiful attack damage and see what happens. Well, roll your attack first, then roll that beautiful attack damage.
Here's a quick
Go ahead.
with the Smite Evil, would we scale that off of my Paladin levels and whatnot, transferring over to him, or would we scale it differently? His levels.
I don't care. No, let's do your paladin levels, because technically, you know, it is a paladin move, and it, you know what I'm saying? It's like an extension of you. You're doing a lot of like helping hands things. You know what I'm saying? You're giving Uquil a smite evil. You're going to assist Otis in the turn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Okay, let me figure up that number for you real quick, Uquil, but go ahead and do your thing.
So his is just a damage buff?
Yeah, it just adds
Okay.
extra points to your damage.
You're good.
yeah. I might also add, Uquil, as you get closer to this thing, Iron Eros is just wailing, dude. It sounds like an electric guitar in your ear. It's saying, kill this thing. Bring me its head.
All right. So, sorry, I'm reading something on this.
Nah, you all right.
So, imagining brought to light will come into play,
What?
but that's a damage. It basically says if striking a foe whose deeds are so vile they wish to hide them in darkness of their hearts.
Yeah.
I roll a D100.
Oh yeah, because that I know what you're talking about. That most definitely will come into play because you're talking about the thing that it does when it meets like true evil, something brought to the light. Yes.
So I'm dumping my full attack, and here we go. Woo!
Okay,
Woo!
so you get a +4 to your attack, and then +9 to your damage.
+9, roger that. This is gonna sting like a motherfucker for it. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
What did you roll?
Unfortunately, it was an 18. So 18.
Oh man, one off from
That
that.
was one off. Let's see, 18 plus 5 is 23. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 30, 31, 32. I'm almost positive a 32 hit him. I shouldn't need to math more.
Oh yeah, 32 hit him.
Let's find my percentage dice here. All right, I need to do this first. So you said the first roll is the big number on the percentage dice?
Yeah, is the big number. So if you roll a 0 and you roll a 0 again, that's going to be 100.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
That was a 70, so it'd be 7.
7, yep. And then roll again.
70. It was zeros.
Yeah, double zeros. 70.
59 or 51 to 99 does 10 times damage. That's what you wrote, not what I wrote.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's that's fine. I did that I did that specifically for moments like this.
4 D6s. Yes, my brains. Yes. Okay, 4d6. Come on, give Daddy a new pair of shoes. All right, that wasn't great. 12. I'm not gonna get a calculator out. This is a lot. Now we multiply it by just the dice damage, right?
Yeah. Well, what is your total damage right now?
That's why I got to do a lot of math.
Yeah, and then you take that times 10.
Okay. Android said +9.
It's a +9 for the smite evil.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, 5, and then I took 20.
Good grief.
You don't want to hear this number.
What is that number?
Hold on, I'm working on it. Let's see. I did 20 plus the 9 plus the 5. I'm missing something. Hold on, I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. Oh, my power aura. I forgot that's up. Hold on, I'm just checking one thing here. Okay. It is 49
Mm-hmm.
times 10.
Times
490.
490?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, my bad. 400. Okay. Minus. Okay. Gotcha.
And then, if it's still breathing,
It is still breathing. It's still standing.
unfortunately, that's a one-off. So that's all that damage on that one.
Yeah, you're like, wow. Boom.
This time, I'll take 10
Oh, yeah.
off.
And Mind Doc is flanking it, so like its AC is dropped even more.
Okay.
Yeah. But you
Would you,
need-
would you
need
say
a-
the plus was from you, Android, on the attack roll?
+4.
+4. Sweet. All right.
Well, oh yeah. Are you talking about for the Smite Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you use that on the last just the last attack you did?
Oh, it's a one-off as well.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
it's
okay,
a
okay,
shot.
okay.
Yeah, that's just
Okay,
a
okay,
one-off.
okay.
Yeah, that's a one-off deal. Yeah.
So
I don't want to be like that, but I mean, you know,
no, you're fine. You're fine. 28.
28. That's what you rolled for an attack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a miss.
28's a miss.
28 is a miss.
Oh well, fuck.
Yeah, it's
Perfectly.
Platoon of battle.
Perfectly fine.
That bad.
Again, my misses just means he's gonna hurt more later.
yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, are you throwing some heroic dice into that mix?
No. You
Oh.
gotta remember, every time I miss,
Oh, that's right. You get,
consequent attacks go up.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I thought you were
So, yeah,
throwing,
my-
yeah.
Where's it at? Okay, so that time, let's see. 2, 25, 26, 7, 29.
29. That is a
Mhm.
miss.
Okay. Oh, you lucky bastard. Uh, 30.
That is a hit. You just stepped it all the way up. You know what its AC is and now exactly. You chump.
You're lucky I rolled an 18 that time. That's what I get. But you got to remember, my base attack keeps dropping by 5. So each time I was rolling an increment of 1 off of my base attack falling. It's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough, but it pays off if you pop it.
Yeah.
You know, if you pop the cork on that, it pays off.
Oh, actually, it would have been higher. It would have been 34 because I forgot it's +2 each time on this.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a hit. You rolled a 34 the first time, and that was a hit.
So let's see. 7, 9, 17 on that attack.
17 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my intimidate. It is intimidate. Where are you? I scrolled too far. That's why. I forgot how high this fucking thing is. It's kind of ridiculous. If we're being all honest about it.
Right.
I've dumped almost every rank I had into it. It's kind of stupid. 38.
38. So, okay, so to play that whole thing out, like when you go jumping through the air, describe to me like how this whole exchange goes out, because like you hit him really gnarly the first time, you missed twice, and then you hit him again, and now you're trying to intimidate. So paint me a picture of that, because you went jumping over Ruckus, and like I said, I'm in my Spartacus blood and sand mode right now, where like I'm seeing slow motion, just you know what I mean? Like paint that picture for me real fast, you know? Like
I imagine like
Daddy
you
some juice.
Jesus, don't ever say that again. I imagine Uquill, like, you know, he's taller and like jumping over Ruckus and Agargus wouldn't be super hard if he had like the full dead running head, but it's still like he's wearing head, so like he kind of just jumps over them in that, you know, like Mario flailing in the air jump, you know, over the top of him, and it's just as he comes down, he just fucking swings as hard as he fucking can, and just slashes the like from. I'm looking at this picture and I'm trying to say how I would describe it, from like right, like if it facing it, it's right side in correspondence to me. Just a weird diagonal down from one eye to its weird maw, and just follow through and just gashing this huge fucking cut across it, and just
like slicing the Christmas ham. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then like for the next attack, he goes to try to like take an arm, but he's just like, he lands funny after all of his antics, and then he tries to regain himself, and he swings again. He's like, oh shit, fuck, and then he just, as he's regaining his composure, just like, and the poke.
Yeah, just kind of nicks it with that 17. Like, F you. Yeah.
I've got my footing. We're fine, bitch. And just as he lands, and he just hits him with that like, almost, you know, like a fencer's little, he's like, pokes him, and he just looks him dead ass in his eye, and just gets like, Uquill's like patting and shitting and grin, and he just, this thing knows that Uquill should be bothered by it, but Uquill is not giving him that satisfaction. In fact, he's just like, bitch, I'm in your face. Now what? And that's like his intimidating factor, is just like,
the fact that he's
here,
showing
motherfucker.
it in no fear.
Yeah, it's like, I'm here.
Okay.
They call me Himothy.
All right. You give it an impressive showing, you know what I mean? Like those times you missed, you almost hit it a couple of times anyways, you know what I'm saying? Because those were pretty close to hitting it anyway. So it, you know, you notice that it moves pretty swift for its body type as it is, you know what I'm saying? And you do, you know, you're like, I'm here, you know, trying to intimidate it. But unfortunately, as far as that goes, it seems completely unaffected by any kind of intimidation tactic. As if it can't feel to even know what intimidation is. See what I'm saying?
Roger that.
Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, you know what I mean? But
no, I got you.
I will follow it up that, you know, because I am in my Spartacus mode. I can't say that enough. The second you realize that, you're just like, well, F it. And like Uquill, you just get your face up right in his and just roar at him like, I don't care if you're scared or not, you know?
Yeah, bitch, I am here.
I'm gonna kill you today. All right, nice. I will let's see, Mindoc, what are you doing?
You know, I'm happy to see the turning first, because this thing is like I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this thing is basically a hard counter to most of the shit I can do, being both immune to fortitude and having high magic resistance.
Yeah, it's kind of a filthy beast. I will let you use another skill to try and decipher more about its weaknesses if you like.
Specifically, I'm interested in trying to get as precise as I can with just how magically resistant it is. I suppose.
Well, you know, it is just, it basically has a from what you've been able to tell from it so far, it's just highly resistant to mind and body attacks. It can cancel those things out without any issue. I will say this. Go ahead and roll an identify.
Is that?
Or not an don't roll it, just cast it. I mean.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That is a touch thing. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm in range for that. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, well, yeah, I know. That's why, you know what I'm saying? So you just like place your hand on his back or what? Like, you know, you just.
I like flick it on the forehead. For the back of the head, I guess.
Bam! So you flick that thing on the back of its head and you cast Identify and you realize, oh dear. So this thing is like 90% magic resistant. It has a huge level of magic resistance. But that's not because it's just some regular undead. When you flicked it, you realized it's a tomb.
Sorry, so what?
It's a tomb. Specifically, what you've come to know as, well, because you know that it's a tomb, I will need you to roll a knowledge of Arcana.
All right, knowledge Arcana.
Yeah. To put 2 and 2 together on that. Oh, nice. Okay. You put all that together and you realize, from what you know about necromancy in particular, and this thing being a tomb and it's 90% magic resistance, it's because it needs to be protected at all costs. And the fact that it's active means that it is holding the soul of a fresh lich inside of it right now. Tomb is like one thing you could call it, but in the Arcana world, they are known as phylacteries. This thing is literally a moving fighting phylactery that a lich has buried itself into to hold its soul till it can revive itself somehow.
That's fucked up.
Could it be dispelled? Like,
it
as a phylactery?
You can't dispel a phylactery.
Okay,
you can capture a phylactery, but you can't dispel a phylactery. You can destroy a phylactery, but you cannot dispel them.
Fuck, okay. There's no way, like, it's very mind resistant, but I can really fucking try. So, like, caster level checks to overcome spell resistance aren't really gonna help, considering it's just a percentage, right?
It is a percentage. You would have to roll like I would have to roll a percentage and, you know, and stuff like that. Well, no, you would have to roll the percentage. Is what would happen.
But
like
yeah, I can't really affect that.
Yeah.
There's basically no shot. I think I'll preserve my spells here. I'll kind of just keep my position, like threatening it, kind of, so that it, you know, it doesn't know what's up, and it has to at least like acknowledge I'm there, so like it's flanked. But that's yeah.
Yeah, but you are fully aware of what this thing is now. You're like, oh my gosh, it is a yeah.
Oh, okay. What Well, my duck will just yell out, if this gets bad, then everyone, well, not really yell, but, speak loud enough that people can hear over the fighting. If this gets bad, just step away from it, and I can at least contain it.
Roger Dodger.
Yeah. You guys are welcome, by the way. You're welcome, by the way. I literally looked at 3.5 Monster Manual and I said, Devourer, that's cool. What can I do with that?
I mean, I have a contingency at least.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, yeah. Like, now that you know, yeah, all of that. And it lines up with what Otis was thinking. He just rolled a little low to get the full story. So, yeah, he understood what it was, too. He just did not pinpoint the word phylactery. Had he would have rolled with the rest of it. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's just, yeah, so
Should
your
have
guys
paid
is...
more attention to my studies.
Yeah. Well, but it at least you know what you need to do to it, though. You learn, know enough. You've always known enough that you know what you need to, So, I mean, that's all anybody can ask for of you. With that said, oh my gosh. You guys, I hate to do this, but I start my new job tomorrow and I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to finish it here. But at the same time, I kind of like this idea of the cliffhanger where MindDoc has identified this thing and we're leaving the session with the audience at home now knowing that what the party is up against is a lich's tomb or a phylactery. When a lich's body is destroyed, it can send its soul into any kind of container. If you're a Harry Potter fan, think Horcrux. Yeah. That's what this undead is. Otis knows what it's called. It's called a Devourer. MindDoc knows that it's a phylactery. Next week at next session, we will conclude this epic battle between the Inglorious Few, because it has not been trademarked yet to call them the Glorious Many, but we're getting there. The Inglorious Few will continue to battle the Devourer in the underworld. And just as a big surprise to the party, I don't know if you guys know this yet or not, this isn't a one-off thing with MindDoc. MindDoc has returned to the group.
I was letting the session play out, but hello everyone, good to be back.
We now have gotten Otis and MindDoc to return. I am going for one more because I'm gonna bowl a turkey, y'all. I'm gonna bowl a turkey. We're gonna get the kid back.
We're in fear.
Yeah.
We should be excited, but if you were around for the early installments, and this isn't a knock at all, it's more entertaining than anything.
There's a reason why
these two rejoining the party just means this shit's about to get more chaotic than it ever has.
Yeah, it's the worst thing that could have happened, frankly.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this, there's a reason why, as far as the game goes, there's a reason, and we'll delve into it as we go, so I'm not gonna say too much, but there's a reason why when MindDoc returned to the group, because he is one of the OGs too. I said that there was, it started off with Android and Tyrone for a year, and then MindDoc, Otis, and Uquill joined. So MindDoc is another one who had to drop out because life got in the way, and he has returned as well. But there is a reason why Uquill wanted to attack MindDoc when MindDoc showed back up on the scene. But I'm not going to say anything because it will come up in the session. So,
oh yes, it will.
No spoilers. No spoilers. But yeah, everybody, we have Otis and MindDoc back, y'all. I mean, we're getting there. We have our two new guys. We got Zoltan and Agargus. We got our veterans now, Uquill and Android. I mean, shoot, this yeah, he ain't lying when he says stay tuned. because if you think this is bad, it's only up from here, baby.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I got to go to bed, y'all. So let me do this closing. I want to thank all you Golden Wonders out there who tune into our sessions. I really appreciate it, and I just can't thank you all enough. I want to thank them old school gamers who allow me to DM for them, even though I do things like create undead phylacteries that yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't say it enough. I mean, I love all you guys, and I just, again, I want to thank Otis and MindDoc for returning to the group, and you know, it's starting to feel like the good old days, y'all. So, yeah, with that said,
Oh, it's tolerable.
with that said, oh, you know, good night. Y'all come back and stay golden. I love y'all. Say good night, everybody.
Adios.
Not here.
No.
You know, last session Otis was like, "Don't touch grass." He said, "Don't touch grass."
Go touch grass.
Oh, you said I could have
I
sworn.
said go touch grass.
Oh, did you? I could have swore you said don't. I was like, this dude really is.